Hello? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay. That's one thing I know. On the middle of last year. Every time we play a team, them niggas all too loud. Gotta do nothing. Yeah, I know. I've had y'all 100,000 times. Yeah.
Check, check. 1, 2. I can.
It's one of the most consequential games in recent years for the Anniston Bulldogs as they come in ranked in the top 5 in the state of Alabama in Class 4A as they take on one of the recent Blue Bloods in Class 4A as number 4 Cherokee County rolls into Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium coming off of back-to-back appearances in the Class 4A state championship game. And one of these two teams will have the upper hand at the end of the night when it comes to getting the top spot in Region 6 of Class 4A. It's a monumental battle between Cherokee County and Anniston here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. And we welcome you in on this first Friday in October. A happy game day wherever you're watching us from. James Hardy along with Matt Glover joining us back again for a second time in the last few weeks here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium. We'll hear from Shasta Jones, Jackson New, Jim Jacobs, and others as part of our FNN crew. But, Matt, we've got a big ball game tonight here in Anniston.
Yeah, really big game. You know, it seems like every game I've been at has been a big game, so I'm glad to be here. I expect a shootout here between two good teams.
But we saw just 3 weeks ago Anniston able to hold on and pull off a big 20-18 win over rival Alexandria. And so far for Coach Rico Jackson's squad this season, they've done everything they've needed to do to get to the point to where they're 5-0 and to a position to where if they win, they've got still a lot of their season as far as big expectations ahead of them.
Yeah, looking at their schedule, though, you know, their schedule was, in my opinion, kind of front-heavy when the teams they're playing. So if they can get by Cherokee County tonight, you know, as long as Coach can keep them level and grounded, you know, they got a good chance to win the region and make a run in the playoffs. But, you know, they're playing a Cherokee County team that's, you know, been there, done that, so this is no big game for them. This is just another one.
While Anniston certainly has the athleticism advantage tonight, you mentioned Cherokee County. They've been there. They have the experience. But unlike Anniston, when you look at their region schedule, really their toughest region games beginning tonight is backloaded into the month of October.
Yeah, and, you know, as a coach, I would rather have my tougher ones in the end, you know, because hopefully we're playing our best at that point. But, you know, like I said, this is going to be a region championship type game. You know, like I said, against Alexandria, you could easily see these two teams matching up in the playoffs again.
And certainly when a Jacob Kelly coach team comes to town, Matt, when it comes to the opposition, they can certainly expect one of, if not the most physical teams that they'll play all season long.
Yeah, you better, when you play Coach Kelly, you better strap it up. You know, I coached against him three years ago, and it was a tough game. Kids are hard-nosed. You know, I actually was able to coach it in center in 2001, and it's just that place loves football, you know, and so you can tell when they're kids, they're brought up to, you know, be a warrior, and they take pride in their program.
And this is an opportunity as well, you got to think, for Rico Jackson and at least this Anniston Bulldog squad. Now, they were one of the top teams, if not the most talented team, just a few years ago in 2022, but they've been through a transition the last couple of years with Rico White departing and now Rico Jackson in his third season. This is a chance, if they can get a win tonight, for Anniston to put their name as far as the statewide picture back on the map.
Yeah, you know, talking to Coach before the game, you know, this is his third year, and, you know, in the third year, you've kind of got your program established, and he was talking about how his kids, you know, he's had them since ninth graders, and they kind of know what to expect from him, and that means a lot. So, you know, like I said, he's done a great job here, and athletic-wise, they're very athletic, but, you know, not always the most athletic team wins. I think, you know, this game will come down to kind of like Alexandria, who makes the fewest mistakes and turnovers.
In fact, let's look at our game notes for tonight. First for Cherokee County, they're coming off of a win last Thursday at home against Shades Valley, 28-13, and like they've been for much of the past, in fact, just about all of the past 3 seasons now, in that top 5. Number 4 this week, according to the Alabama Sports Writers Association. And they've, of course, played in the state championship game, the Super 7 in Class 4A, the last 3 seasons. And then the Anniston Bulldogs, they're number 5 this week in the statewide rankings. And they're basically, as we've talked about, once you look at their schedule, thanks to, in large part, their home win 3 weeks ago against Alexandria. They're in position. If they can win tonight, they're basically in great position to get down the stretch to the finish line as region champions. And speaking of tradition, Anniston, Matt, pretty good tradition themselves. A couple state championships, but also 13 region championships in program history.
Yeah, me and Coach were talking that before the game. I remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, Anniston was a powerhouse. I remember as a young guy coming and watching them play Trustful with Steve Christopher at quarterback, and they had some guys. So, and looking at this Anniston team this year, they for a 4A team, they look really, really good.
Let's step aside for our first time out. Our countdown to kickoff brought to you by Bama Sheds. We'll take a look at a lot of big ones across the state of Alabama after this timeout.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
At iCare Alabama, our goal is to meet the needs of every patient. Dr. Dwayne Mohan and Dr. Ryan Price always strive for excellent outcomes. We want each patient to get the best vision and medical care possible. At iCare Alabama, we utilize all the latest technological advances to ensure that you receive the best quality eye care. So call for an appointment at any of our 4 locations in Piedmont, Heflin, Roanoke, or Atala and see the difference. Most insurance is accepted. iCare Alabama. Efficient, effective eye care close to home.
Bama Sheds powers our countdown to kickoff here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. A huge one tonight here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium on the FNN Game of the Week. James Hardy, Matt Glover, as we also bring in Shasta Jones and Jackson New down on the sideline, and our own Jim Jacobs, because not only our game, but there are a ton of big ones all across the state tonight. And in fact, let's go ahead and roll out the first of those big ones.
Man, I had to find my mic.
That may be the only time we actually have that, I imagine, occurred this year. But, hey, we're happy you're here.
Well, thank you very much. And we are about to talk about the big games coming up tonight. And we'll start with one that's on the road for the Valley Cubs. Coach Glover mentioned how good Alexandria looked in the game here a few weeks ago that we did. Hoax Bluff is looking okay as well, Coach. Is this a trap game for the Valley Cubs?
Jim, I don't think so. I think Coach will have them ready to go. I know playing at Hoax Bluff is one of those places you go into as a coach and you tell your kids how you're down 7, we hop off the bus. So, but I look for Alexandria to win.
All right, James, you're up next.
I think this is a tough game to pick. I think I could see Hoax Bluff winning this game at home tonight, but I think Alexandria does just enough to pull it out.
I think Alexandria has got speed, and they play with a lot of grit. That's the best way to describe that ball club. The 2025 edition for Coach Ginn, I think they get it done tonight on Mike Robertson Field. Shasta?
I got to agree and go with the Alexandria Valley Cubs.
And I got to agree as well, Alexandria Valley Cubs.
All right, so there we go. Everybody's kind of across the board on Alexandria tonight. This is another huge game as well in that 5A Region 5, Coach. You got Leeds traveling over to St. Clair County. You saw them with us last week against Shelby County. I tell you, this St. Clair County team is no joke.
No, they are very athletic. Coach has done a really good job with those guys. You play in Leeds and Coach Hood and, the very well coached team. For some, I got to go with St. Clair tonight at home, so I think the crowd will be the advantage. And, big plays, just as long as St. Clair don't turn the ball over, I look for them to come out with a win.
I like where Coach is going for St. Clair County. I love their athleticism on the outside and the decision-making of Landon Smith at quarterback. I'm going with St. Clair County tonight as well.
All right, Shasta, you were there with us. You saw St. Clair County last week. What do you think about them in Leeds tonight?
This one's got me a little baffled. I think they're both really good. It's going to be a great game. I'm going to go with Leeds.
I love what I've seen from St. Clair County last week. I'm going to go with them to get the win this week.
Yeah, I liked what I saw with the Saints as well, especially that core of receivers and a quarterback that could get them the ball. If it's at Leeds, I go with the Wave. But tonight it's at Odenville, and I like St. Clair County to set up a big matchup with Jacksonville coming up in a few weeks that could determine number 2 in that region and get that home spot. And, Coach, you know how big that is.
Oh, shoot, yeah, well, see, what people don't think about, too, is it's big for your program when it comes to financial-wise, when it comes to parking and the concession, all that stuff, so it makes money for next year.
Show me the money. All right, guys, Asheville at White Plains tonight. James, I don't see how either one of these are going to make the playoffs based on what's already taken place in that region, but these are two teams that I think are on a parallel course to getting better. What do you think?
I agree 100%, especially on both teams making major improvement. Asheville the most, already at 4-1 this season. And this is a type of game, though, I think White Plains at home could beat Asheville. In fact, I'm going to pick White Plains at home tonight.
All right, Coach, which one?
I have to go with Asheville, seeing as how I graduated with the quarterback's mom and dad. So if I don't, they won't talk to me anymore. So I like Asheville.
All right, and of course I'm going to go with the Wildcats for Coach Clint Smith and our player of the week. He doesn't talk much, but he sure performs. Crew Martin out on the field tonight for the Wildcats. Shasta, you're up.
I think White Plains has a good chance, but I'm going to go with Asheville, actually.
Both restrooms are open at either end of the
something's cooking down there in Asheville, Alabama. I think Coach Mark Sanders gets a win there tonight.
All right. Everybody likes Coach Sanders, and I can see why. All right, here, up next. This may be the biggest local game in our part of Alabama tonight. Oxford travels over to Pell City, and Coach, I think that for the first time in a long time, Pell City is a team that believes that they can get the job done against the Big O tonight. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I know they think they can win. I just don't know if they can go up there and beat them. That's a big hated rival between those two, and it's been a while since Pell City beat them. But I just think the way Oxford played last week, I think I have to go with the Big O.
But that's the thing. Does Oxford carry that performance over into this week on the road? I'm not convinced of that. I'm going with Pell City tonight.
It's a mixed bag for me. This game could go either way. It just depends on the attitude and the desire of the teams that are playing in it tonight. I know neither one of them wants to lose to the other one, but Coach, they always say that before you can win one like this, you got to lose it. And I'm applying that to Pell City tonight. I'm going to stick with Oxford to get out of town with the hairs on their chinny chin. Shasta?
Saying this, but I'm going to go with Pell City.
And I got to agree. I think Coach Nick Gentry gets the win tonight.
Wow. So our field people down there calling for Pell City to get the job done this evening. All right, Etowah at Aniana tonight. It hasn't been a good year for the Blue Devils so far. Aniana's kind of just hanging around, maybe thinking they can nab that last playoff spot in the region. Coach, you know these programs pretty well. Which one gets your attention?
I like Aniana. I just think that their offense is putting up points, and Etowah's kind of struggling with putting up points. So I like Aniana in this one.
For all the reasons that Matt mentioned, I'm going with Aniana.
Yeah, it's at Aniana, and again, Etowah's had a tough season. I just think the Redskins walk out with this one. Shasta?
I got to go with Aniana as well.
I got to agree with all you. I got to go with the Aniana.
The what?
I got to go with Aniana. My bad.
Hey, it happens on live TV, buddy. No problem. Talladega at Munford. The Big Red Machine trying to find anything good down in Munford. Talladega's in town. I think they've won once, right, James?
I think that's right. 1 or 2 games, I think. And Munford's still trying to pick up their first win. Close ball game, but I like Talladega on the road. Matt, what do you think of these two opponents, Talladega and Munford?
I have to say, I think Talladega will get the win.
All right, let's swing down to Shasta and Jackson and see what they think about this one.
I have to agree with you both so far. Go with Talladega.
You know, Munford is my alma mater, but I just can't pick them to win an organized football game this year, and I'm going to go with Talladega.
And I guess I'm going to make it go 5 ways because I like the Tigers to take care of business at Munford tonight, but certainly hope that something better is on the horizon for the Munford Lions because they've had a tough couple of years. All right, Weaver at Glencoe. Of course, the Bearcats lost their coach for good. And we're going to see now what they can do as they try to find some momentum on the road at Glencoe. Coach, you've seen these situations before. Heck, you've probably been in some of them. What's it do to a team when they lose their head guy mid-season?
You know, Jim, to be honest with you, is if they like him or not. You know, and everything I've read, I think the kids liked him. So, kids are resilient. They overcome a lot of stuff. And when the lights come on, they don't think about those kind of things, but I like Glencoe in this game.
Yeah, I like Glencoe as well, even though I think Weaver will give a good effort tonight.
Shasta?
I got to agree and go with Glencoe.
And I got to agree with all of you. I got to go with Glencoe.
And I'll finish it off with saying that we like Glencoe and Coach Bailey Blanchard to pick up the W tonight against Weaver. Clay Chalkville at Mountain Brook tonight. Of course, Clay Chalkville has got to be the big-time favorite in this one. But is this a game where Mountain Brook can step up, Coach, and maybe shock the world?
You know, as a DC at Clay and having to play Mountain Brook 3 years in a row, I still have nightmares of playing them on offense and what they do. That's a tough place to play. You know, Coach is really, really good. But watching Clay last week against Thompson, I think Clay's the best team in the state. So I have to go with Clay Chalkville.
I think Mountain Brook could give at least Clay Chalkville a run for their money for 2-3 quarters, but I think Clay Chalkville's just too talented tonight.
Yeah, I like the Cougars to go in there and take care of business. All right, Shasta, what do you think?
I got to go with Clay Chalkville.
The band will respond by.
Once again, I got to agree with all of you. I got to go with Clay Chalkville.
All right, so the Cougars are the odds-on favorite for that one. No big surprise there. Pleasant Valley at Cedar Bluff. Here we go. Cedar Bluff and Pleasant Valley. Pleasant Valley still ranked right now in the top 10. I really like the Raiders at this one, James, on the road.
Yeah, I like them too. What Coach Jonathan Nix has done the last 3 seasons has been one of the best coaching jobs in our area. I like Pleasant Valley as well.
I agree. You know, Coach Nix, he deserves it. He's a great guy, good friend, so I like Pleasant Valley.
All right, let's go down to the field and get Jackson's thoughts on this one.
Then the Raiders to get the win here tonight.
And I'm going to go with Pleasant Valley as well.
Okay, so it's a clean sweep for the Raiders as they are the ones that get the nod here on FNN as our big ones now. We've run through them all. Let's go back and talk about the one we're here for. Of course, we don't pick this game because we're doing it, but it should be a dandy, James Hardy.
Should be indeed outstanding, Jim, as you look also Cherokee County, a hard-fought 14-0 win last year up in center, almost at this point of 2024. And you look, overall, Anniston has actually had a pretty comfortable series edge coming in to tonight, winning 10 of the 15 games. But Cherokee County's had the upper hand in about the last 3 or 4 games in this series, however. So it should be an outstanding ball game. And we talked about the physicality for Cherokee County. Matt and I did right at the very top of the telecast as part of our countdown to kickoff presented by Bama Sheds. And also that's something as far as the scouting report of Cherokee County that Coach Rico Jackson also mentioned when he talked to our FNN microphones this week.
Huge game. I mean, because it's the next game. But around campus, I guess if I can put it in one word, just business-like. We've had a great week of practice. The kids have been locked in and focused. Nothing too excitable. Maybe it's because last week was homecoming. They're coming down off a high, so I don't know. The kids have really been zeroed in on the game. And big game, next game, also an important region game, so we're looking forward to it.
Good thoughts from Coach Rico Jackson as far as just the atmosphere this week when it comes to the Anniston High School community, the Anniston community in general of this week's game against Cherokee County. And also Jacob Kelly had this to say as far as his thoughts on an athletic Anniston squad.
I mean, they're very similar to who they were last year. I think they're just playing with a greater sense of confidence because how they've done early on this season. I said going into the game, and I tried to preach to the kids, they're big, they're athletic, they have playmakers, you can have plays defended, and if you do not finish it, they can still hurt you. Defensively, they've got a great back end in their secondary, big defensive lines that attack you. They pursue the football extremely well. They thrive on turnovers and sudden change opportunities. So, again, I see very, very similar things than I did last year. I just see a team that's more confident because they're undefeated. And Coach Jackson, he does a great job of getting the guys locked in and keeping them locked in. They played us extremely tough last year coming over here with a losing record. And, you've seen teams in the past that had a lot of potential, but if things didn't go their way, what did they do? They kind of crumbled. He did a great job last year, staying the course, keeping the guys locked in, making a run deep in the playoffs. And so, anyway, that's what I see.
There you hear Coach Jacob Kelly as we are just about ready for the national anthem and the presentation of the colors by the Anniston High School ROTC as Cherokee County about ready to come out of the visiting locker room, as is the Anniston Bulldogs. We're also getting close to the toss of the coins, so let's send it down to the field for our national anthem. The Anniston High School Marching Band presents our national anthem as Cherokee County and Anniston about ready to hit the field here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium for a huge critical ball game in Class 4A Region 6. The winner has the inside track toward the top seed out of Region 6 for postseason play. If Anniston wins, they basically have almost smooth sailing to the finish line because they've played, at least when you look at the region standings coming into tonight, Anniston and Cherokee County tied for 3-0 in region play, and then Alexandria, Asheville, and Hokes Bluff each 2-1, tied for third, a three-way tie for third, and then Aniana, White Plains, and Etowah all 0-3 in region play. So you look at Anniston, they've played those three third-place teams on their schedule and come victorious against all of those squads. And so if they can beat Cherokee County tonight, they'll definitely have the inside track as far as a top seed and maybe potential of making a deep run in the postseason in Class 4A. Here comes the captains for both teams as Kenneth Breeding, our head referee for tonight, as you take a look at the Cherokee County captains. As before our toss at the coin, a big thanks to Dr. Barbara Bixby Boyd, who serves House District 32 in the Alabama legislature since 1994. Doctor of Education, advocate for local schools, and a strong voice for Anniston, Oxford, and Talladega. A big thanks to State Representative Barbara Bixby Boyd for presenting our toss of the coin tonight. So we're just a few moments away from sending it down to the field where referee Kenneth Breeding will MC the toss of the coin. As we take a look at some of the captains, first for Anniston, you have Zachary Page along with Caleb Moore, a couple of those captains, and Damon Pope, as well as Mikkel Cole, as we'll go ahead and send it down to Kenneth Breeding for our toss of the coin.
All I ask is good sportsmanship tonight, all right? Cherokee County, you're the visiting team, and you're going to call it in the air. If I drop it, we're going to reflip. Alabama High School Athletic Association is going to be heads. Super 7 is going to be tails. What's your choice?
Tails.
You called tails. And it is tails. What do you want to do?
We want to defer.
You want to defer? All right. Y'all want to receive, right? All right, where do you want your backs?
I want to finish.
All right, y'all go over here, and y'all come over here. All right. All right, guys, shake hands. Good luck to y'all. The rest of the season, too.
The captains for Cherokee County tonight, you saw Dylan Duncan along with the Keyshawn's, Keyshawn Thomas, number 5, and Keyshawn Woods, who's developed into quite an outstanding every down back for Cherokee County this season. So before tonight's ball game, as we're less than 3 minutes away from kicking off what should be an outstanding ball game tonight between two talented teams in Cherokee County and Anniston. Matt, give us an idea of what you expect as far as your keys for both teams tonight.
You know, I'm a little surprised that Cherokee County didn't take the ball because, you know, I think the one thing they can't do is they can't play from behind. You know, with their offensive style and what they like to do, they're going to run the ball, and then run it again. So, you know, I think for them to not get behind early is a big key, holding the football. And then for Anniston, I think, you know, for them is not to kill themselves, you know, have the quarterback ball, like I talked to Coach before the game, you know, keep it in his hands and let him be a playmaker.
Here comes the Cherokee County Warriors out onto Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium as they come in having won their last 5 ball games after a season-opening loss on the road at Piedmont on August the 22nd. And there you see 3-0 in 4A Region 6 play, 5-1 overall. And the Anniston Bulldogs off to an outstanding start. Their best starts, of course, since 2022. 5-0 on the season and 4-0, or check that, 3-0, I beg your pardon, in 4A Region 6. They're looking for their 4th consecutive region victory. It's the Anniston Bulldogs about to make their way out onto Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium, so they'll be in the Cardinal tops this evening. And here comes the Anniston Bulldogs. They're beginning a stretch of, or at least second game of a stretch of 4 of their next 5 right here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. And you look at the rest of their region schedule at Etowah and at home against Aniana and White Plains. So they have quite the favorable back end of the schedule down the stretch of the 2025 season, and they'll make a non-region trip just up Highway 21 to Jacksonville. And this is also an Anniston Bulldogs program that comes off of a state quarterfinals appearance last season, a somewhat unexpected appearance in the second season of Coach Rico Jackson last year. So as you heard on our toss of the coin, brought to you by Barbara Bixby Boyd, Cherokee County won the toss, and they decided to defer their option until the second half. MVP Wings brings us our kickoffs for tonight. A big thanks to all of our sponsors for joining us, including MVP Wings. And there you see, hopefully for one of these two teams, maybe both of these teams, hope that they'll have an MVP type of outing as a team by the time we get to the finish line tonight. There's a little onside kick, a loose ball, as it looks as if Anniston able to come out with it, Matt.
Yeah, that shows Cherokee County right there showing their respect for Anniston's speed right there. Almost had the ball.
Hugh Miller, a nice execution on the onside kick, the place kicker this year for Cherokee County, but heads up, however, for Kyrie Lewis as he was able to field that onside kick, and that gives Anniston some solid field position. First down and 10 as they'll start the football at their own 41-yard line. Our first quarter brought to you by David's Appliance. Established in 1976. They'll be coming up on their 50th anniversary next year. Damon Pope, the quarterback, will also see from time to time some Jamoris Young calling signals. Jabari Williams gets the call. Some decent running room up the middle as it closes fairly quickly. But Williams at least shows his hard running right there indeed, Matt, as he's able to get to midfield. I thought he was stopped for about a 3-yard gain, but he shows his determination and strength and extends that to about a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, just ISO right up the middle. Good run by him. Cherokee County, they're going to have to get around the ball.
We'll also see Quintavious Cunningham in the backfield. And then the receiving core of Isaac Michael, along with Ja'Cory Carr, Caleb Moore, Jaden Hurd, and Kedrick Jordan. Second and short. And right up the middle, and some solid running room again for Jabari Williams as he gets the first down of the night for Anniston. And our first downs brought to you by our good friends at Eye Care Alabama, located in Piedmont, Roanoke, and Attala.
Yeah, with Cherokee County's defense, they try to force, up the middle, because they got the two edge guys right there. Anderson's just running power right there.
Offensive line, Aiden Goodson at left tackle, Mikkel Cole at left guard, Zayden Spinks at center. As quick snap and again Williams up the middle, and some pretty good push along this behind center and right guard to the 40-yard line. And then right guard is Jamarco Rudolph, the senior, and Sharante Bailey at right tackle for Anniston.
Yeah, same play 3 times in a row right there. Positive yardage, keep going till they stop it.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Matt, as far as, hey, if it's working, keep on going to it. We played a little over 90 seconds of the opening quarter. Second down as the football into Cherokee County territory at the 40-yard line. Second down and short coming up. There you take a look at a 4-man front for Cherokee County. And the give to Williams as he tries to stretch it out and gets met right around the line of scrimmage. Good job of stringing that play out defensively.
Looks like you're going to get a hold, too, there on the edge.
That's a good call as Tatum Perry helps out defensively on the stop for Cherokee County. So no gain initially. And also a penalty, as Matt mentioned. So see what Cherokee County decides to do, and they will go ahead and take the penalty yards.
You saw Anderson right there try to run stretch to the
on
field.
The offense, 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
You saw Anderson there try to run stretch to the field, and Cherokee County did a really good job of turning it, stringing it sideline to sideline.
So it'll set Anniston back 10 yards. In fact, actually more than that across the original line of scrimmage and across midfield. As here's the quick pass to Carr complete. As he gets bottled up pretty good on the outside. That's some solid contain that time. As you had a couple of the big guys up front help make the stop. As for Cherokee County, that time number 52, Case Tittle the Jr. on the stop.
Yeah.
We take a look at the keys, by the way, Matt, for Cherokee County. And certainly one of those is to run the football once they get the football. And also Anniston wants to obviously use their athleticism and speed to their advantage. Third down and long. Line to reach the Cherokee County 36 for the first down. As Pope gives off on the draw. Here's Cunningham with a lot of running room as he's close to And I think he might have gotten, Matt, that I Care Alabama first down.
Yeah, good call by Anniston coaches right there, dropping back in pass, and middle linebackers dropping in their hook zones and run the draw up underneath.
As you'll take a look, the snap at the 44 of Anniston. And they needed 20 yards for the first down, and Quintavious Cunningham was able to get it thanks to superior pest control and our second look. And there you see just the delayed draw give as Cunningham able to slip a couple tackles and then stretch out just enough for that I Care Alabama first down.
Yeah, that kind of shows Cherokee County right there. You know, they're a little worried about the speed of the Anniston receivers, and those linebackers are getting out of there pretty quick, and they ran the draw right up underneath them.
So this drive has now taken almost 3 minutes of the first quarter clock. Exactly what Coach Rico Jackson wants, keep his defense in that punishing ground attack for Cherokee County off the field. We'll take a look at some of the defensive starters for Cherokee County after this first down snap. And it's the delay give to Cunningham as he's wrapped up in the backfield for a loss. Is already a good series with a couple of tackles, including a tackle for loss for Case Tittle. Let's take a look at the rest of the Cherokee County defense, as you also have Darwin Ross and Dylan Duncan, the defensive ends. Dalton Duncan, the defensive tackle. Case Hill and Jaquan Diamond, the outside linebackers. Anthony Glass and Nate Black, the inside linebackers. And the secondary, J.V. Henderson and Quintavian Rogers, the corners. Cooper Allen, Keyshawn Thomas are the safeties. And we've already seen some Tatum Perry in the defensive backfield as a 2nd and 14 upcoming. Here's the give right up the middle. Williams, he's gotten a lot of positive yardage so far, including another first down for Anniston.
Yeah, if I'm Anniston right now, I'm staying in that formation and keep running the same play. They've got 5 to 6 yards every time they ran that power play to the boundary.
Well, one thing that Coach Rico Jackson wanted to show Cherokee County this week, and that was his team's physicality, and they've shown it for the most part so far on this drive up front. So first down at the Cherokee County 25. Again, Williams off the right side as he bangs forward for a couple of yards. We've seen some pretty good pursuit up, at least in the back 7, as Keyshawn Thomas able to come from his safety spot on the stop.
Yeah, what you're seeing, though, those safeties haven't get involved in the run game, so I'll look for here in a minute for Anniston to try to play-action pass off that.
Now, Matt mentions very wisely that Anniston has not passed the ball so far on this drive, as this drive has already gone more than 5 minutes of the first quarter. An onside kick for Cherokee County that they almost got. So Anniston started their drive at the 41, and they've already overcome a couple of penalties on the drive. And we'll have a whistle and a timeout, so we'll take the timeout as Anniston calls time. We have 6:35 to go in the first quarter. Still no score as Anniston still on their first drive of the ball game.
Jim,
the Calhoun County Commission made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
David's Appliance brings us our first quarter as Anniston still on their opening drive of the ball game. As they're at the Cherokee County 21-yard line, a Jabari Williams 3-yard gain on first down sets up a 2nd down and 7. 6:35 to go in the first quarter. As Pope gets the snap as Williams sees room up the middle as he spins out of a couple tackles, and he has an I Care Alabama first down as the stop again made by the safety Keyshawn Thomas.
Yeah, Anniston's doing a good job of attacking the A-gap right now because, the 3-4 defense is more of a perimeter-style defense, and if you can, attack those A-gaps, then that's what you want to try to do.
I imagine right now that has to be a major concern for Coach Jacob Kelly, and that's how Anderson's been able to almost at will run the ball right at the teeth of the Cherokee County defensive line.
You know, and the adjustment you got to make, you got to go to a bear look, but the problem with that is you go to a bear look, then you open up the receivers out there, you know, one-on-one matchups.
First down, football at the 12. There's Pope as he looks to the sideline, and again, a timeout on the field. As let's hear from Rico Jackson as far as what he had to say as far as his scouting report on an outstanding Cherokee County squad.
I mean, they're very similar to who they were last year. I think they're just playing
I think it's
with
this
a
year,
greater
every
sense
year.
of confidence
They play
because
hard as crap.
how
Like, they
they've
run to the ball,
done
they bring
early on
physicality, they
this
fit
season.
things
You know,
well coached.
I said
they don't have
going into the game, and I try to preach to kids,
they've had
they're
in
big,
the
they're
past.
athletic, they have playmakers, you can have plays defended, and if you do not finish it, they can still hurt you. Defensively, they've got a great back end in their secondary. Big defensive lines that attack you. They pursue the football extremely well. They thrive on turnovers and sudden change opportunities. So, again, I see very, very similar things than I did last year. I just see a team that's more confident because they're undefeated. You know, and Coach Jackson, he does a great job of getting the guys locked in and keeping them locked in. They played us extremely tough last year coming over here with a losing record. And, you know, you've seen teams in the past that had a lot of potential, but if things didn't go their way, what did they do? They kind of crumbled. He did a great job last year, staying the course, keeping the guys locked in, making a run deep in the playoffs. And so, anyway, that's what I see.
There you hear from Coach Jacob Kelly as far as his scouting report of the Anniston Bulldogs as a flag on the play after a zone read keeper by Damon Pope. But looks as if Anniston going to be assessed another holding penalty.
Yeah, right there, Anniston faked the speed.
We had holding on the offense, 10-yard play, replay first down.
Yeah, right there, Anniston faked the speed sweep and ran quarterback counter right there. Good play just to hold at the end.
So football moved back to the 19-yard line. Damon Pope gives off. Cunningham cuts it off tackle and gets it ahead to about the 16-yard line. And Cherokee County, a solid job that time of containing the edge again as Ethan Glass helps make the containment and the stop from his middle linebacking spot. We're approaching 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter as Anniston has had the ball the entire first quarter so far. They've yet to throw the ball on this opening drive. So a second down. Line to reach just inside the 3 for the first down. Pope rolls. And he's bottled up, and he goes down across the 20-yard line. That's a great job that time up front by the entire Cherokee County defensive front, including Glass that comes in to make the sack.
Yeah, great job by the outside linebacker setting the edge and not giving the quarterback an option to run right there. And plus pursuit from the backside was excellent.
Superior pest control brings us that second look of the first sack of the night from Cherokee County's defense. David's Appliance will be celebrating 50 years next year. Brings us our first quarter. Third down and long. Here's Pope. Winds up. He wants the end zone, and that's in and out of the hands. Incomplete. As there was a man there for Anniston, as not able to reel it in was Tariq Judkins.
Yeah, just running 4 verticals right there and picking on the safety. Quarterback made a good read, throw a little high, could have been caught.
Now, for all the time that Cherokee County's defense has been on the field this entire first quarter, they only need to get one more stop here because Anderson really doesn't have a place kicker, so they're going to have to go for it, and they, once again, need to get inside the 3 to keep the offense on the field. Fourth down. Here's Pope. Winds. Looks downfield. Now scrambles, and he's going to run as he fakes out a defender. Needs a few more yards and stays on his feet, I beg your pardon, but gets taken down at the 6-yard line. An outstanding effort that time by Damon Pope, as that juke on the Superior Pest Control replay gives him about 10 extra yards, but he needed 19 to get the first down. As Cherokee County, give them credit, they bent a lot, Matt, but they didn't break.
Yeah, they did. Good drive by Anniston. You always want to end the possession with a kick, but they put Cherokee County inside the 5. So now let's see what they can do with the ball.
Yeah, they'll spot the football between the 5 and the 6-yard line as Adam Griffith, Keyshawn Woods, and the rest of the Cherokee County offense come out on the field. There you see Ben Mosley, the tight end, that at least when watching some prior film of Cherokee County's offense, he tends to be the favorite target of Adam Griffith when they go to the air. And that's not a good start defensively for Anniston because they jumped a bit early. Let's see what Kenneth Breeding will tell us here in just a minute. And it's going to be an offside. And that'll move the football up 5 yards. Also in the backfield, we'll see some Jason Stroop as well as Caden Coleman for Cherokee County. Receivers are Tatum Perry, J.B. Henderson, and maybe some Ethan Glass as well. We'll get to the offensive line in just a second. Hill in motion. Thomas on the call as he buries his head off of right guard and gets a pretty good push from that Cherokee County offensive front as he moves the football across that first down marker. In iCare Alabama first down, the first of the night for the Warriors.
Yeah, Cherokee County went with a unbalanced formation right there and sent the sniffer to the field and just ran power.
Asa Hobart at left tackle for Cherokee County. Also Jackson Doeg at left guard. James Hunter at center. As the give off the right side for Woods as he has some running room and pushes his way for another Cherokee County first down. Hunter at center. Also Evan Hill at right guard and Dylan Duncan, the right tackle, as we take a Superior Pest Control second look at that Keyshawn Thomas first down run. Or I beg your pardon, Keyshawn Woods. So you have Keyshawn Thomas 5 and Keyshawn Woods 6 as Woods already with a couple of first down runs on this drive. And then we'll have, looks like a momentary stoppage in play, a timeout on the field it looks like, and we'll take the timeout with them here on FNN. 3:20 to go in the first quarter, still no score.
We still doing heat timeouts this late?
Welcome to Calhoun County, Alabama, your natural attraction. We have invigorating outdoor activities, amazing cultural sites, mouth-watering food, and southern hospitality, all wrapped into one amazing vacation destination. Whether you're looking for a relaxing overnight getaway or for a one-of-a-kind escapade, Calhoun County boasts an incredible selection of outdoor recreational opportunities. Calhoun County is the natural attraction, centrally located between Atlanta and Birmingham, with plenty of fun and memories waiting to be made. Come to Calhoun County, Alabama, a natural attraction.
Keyshawn Woods off of left guard, able to advance the football on a first down carry across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Cherokee County started this drive at their own 6. Initially got helped out on a 5-yard offside penalty by Anniston. And now 3 Keyshawn Woods runs later, they are able to get the football close to midfield as it appears another penalty. Looks like an offside penalty that time on Anniston.
I think they called face mask, just grabbing of the face mask.
So just the 5-yard variety for the face mask. Thank you very much, Matt. As we'll take a look at the Anniston defense after this first down call. And before the snap, it looks as if we have a flag on the play at the far side. Adam Griffith has not had to throw the ball just yet, as we'll hear from Kenneth Breeding.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
And that has to concern Rico Jackson right now. His team, both offensively and defensively, they've racked up the penalties so far in this first quarter.
James, and too, I think that really helped Anderson because Cherokee County was going with the play-action pass right there, and nobody was covering the tight end.
Ben Mosley and Case Hill, the tight ends for Cherokee County, with the start tonight. As you take a look at Keyshawn Woods reposition himself to the left of Adam Griffith as Woods off the right side as he gets taken down across midfield about the 46-yard line. Let's take a look at the Anniston defense, as you'll have Charles Thomas and Jalen Henderson, the defensive ends, Zayden Spinks, along with Sharante Bailey or Jamarco Rudolph up front. And then the linebackers, Tariq Judkins and also Kyron Malbro, the outside backers, and Dariante Brooks, the inside linebacker. 6-yard gain for Woods on first down.
Offsides again.
And that's going to result in another iCare Alabama first down. Already the 4th Anniston defensive penalty on this drive.
Anniston's got to be careful because they're moving their safety up to the tight end side to stop the run. And I'll look for Cherokee County here in just a second, run a play-action pass on it.
Anniston's defensive backfield, Dekias Baker and also Elijah Lanier, the cornerbacks, Damon Pope and Kyrie Lewis, the safeties. Fresh set of downs. Give goes to Woods. Skips out between a couple of defenders and advances the football across the 40 to about the 39-yard line. As here you see Lewis along with Sharante Bailey that combine on the stop. David's Appliance, established in 1976, brings you our first quarter. As we have played a rapid first quarter so far. Anniston had the football for almost the first 8 minutes of the quarter, but couldn't produce any points. As Cherokee County started this drive at their own 6-yard line, they're now at the Anniston 39. Here's the give. Woods lowers that head and moves the pile to about the 35-yard line on forward progress as we take a look as far as the Anniston combo of defenders led by Demris Allman on the stop as we come close to the end of the first quarter as we're under 10 seconds to go in the opening quarter. And let's see if Cherokee County decides they want to get one more snap. And I do not think they will as we come to the end of a rapid first quarter. A big thanks to David's Appliance for bringing us our first quarter. We're through one quarter of play. Neither team on the board, but Cherokee County still on their opening drive of the ball game. Second quarter coming up here on FNN.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
One of the fastest first quarters you'll ever see. Just about 20 minutes of real time in. And we're already through one quarter of play as Perry Monument Company presents our second quarter, as this is still the opening drive of the ball game for Cherokee County. A third down and a couple. There you see the nose of the football at the 35 of Anniston. Adam Griffith leads the way at quarterback. There's the give, and Brooks comes in and able to disrupt that running play up the middle as Keyshawn Woods wrapped up for a TFL. Nice job that time by Dariante Brooks, the senior, one of the leaders on that side of the ball. And a big fourth down coming up for Cherokee County.
Big play early here in the game.
Yeah, huge play as that run lost a couple of yards. Actually lost a little more than that, more like 3, closer to 4 yards in fact. As the line to reach for the first down will be around the 33-yard line. So there's Griffith in the shotgun. Receiver comes in motion to the near side as the play clock down to 1.
Trying to get him to jump off sides there.
In fact, not able to do so, as we'll have a timeout called for, and we will take the timeout. No score early second quarter here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
from the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family. Good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
Jacob Kelly decides, hey, low-scoring ball game. Let's play conservative and try and pin Anniston back as we're early in the second quarter. Not quite a minute played here in the second as Hugh Miller on to punt. Trying to pin Anniston back as nobody back for the Bulldogs as that ball lands inside the 5. And
Great
well
job.
done
Great job.
indeed by the Cherokee County Special Teams unit as Matt. That just shows how well the Warriors are coached as J.V. Henderson able in that special teams play to keep it from going, or at least Field last to touch it. But you look at Cherokee County defensively that time on the superior pest control second look, and just an example of how well coached they are.
Oh, yeah, great job by that guy. I tell you what, though, Cherokee County kind of got lucky there. They had a run-through and low punt. The guy almost blocked it.
So they'll spot the football at the 2-yard line. So Anniston, a long way to go if they want to get this ball into the end zone.
You know, I always like to take a shot here. You know, you throw an interception, it's just as good as a punt. And this is a good time to take a shot right here if you're Anniston.
Now, Anniston has only officially tried one pass so far, and this is just their second drive of the ball game. Pope shotgun. Gives Jabari Williams some tough yards up the middle. Good yards, however, as he crosses the 5 to about the 7-yard line as Keyshawn Thomas is awfully active from his safety spot on the tackle.
Yep, same play they've been running right there, just running power to the twin side. Good job staying in A-gap and getting vertical.
Perry Monument Company, they bring our second quarter. Once again, the give goes to Jabari Williams. And again, able to carry some tacklers with him across the 10 to about the 12 where he needed to get for that iCare Alabama first down. And just a matter to see whether, and they do indeed officially give that iCare Alabama first down for the Anniston Bulldogs. Jabari Williams, 88 yards and a couple of touchdowns last week on homecoming against Pleasant Grove. And then against Hoax Bluff a couple weeks ago, 171 rushing yards and a couple of touchdowns in a big region win. As we see from Brandon Watley, a big let's go Bulldogs. And also big thanks to all of our commenters on our FNN Facebook page. First down, as here's Pope. As he's not able to get a whole lot, maybe back to the line of scrimmage as Jaquan Diamond, the senior outside linebacker, on the tackle.
Yeah, they ran counter right there, and the problem was nobody blocked back on the end man on line of scrimmage, and he just chased the play down.
So second down, a rapid first half so far. We're already under 9.5 minutes to go until halftime. Quick money in the bank from our folks at FNN Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Not just an ordinary tagline for them, but a way of doing business. Second and long. Here's the keeper for Pope as he's able to go off his blocker and cut it to the inside. Stays on his feet. And he gets an iCare Alabama first down and then some. As here you see our friends from FNN Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. And a lot of strength being shown by Jabari Williams and some craftiness that time from Damon Pope, the quarterback.
Yeah, good job by Anderson setting that play up. The play before they ran counter. This time they read the exact same thing, but the quarterback kept it. He just read the last man on line of scrimmage. He squeezed, and he kept it.
So first down and 10. This drive began at the 2-yard line for the Anniston Bulldogs. They're in their Cardinal tops and white bottoms. Cherokee white tops and bottoms tonight. A little mishandled, or at least errant snap, rather. Nice job by Damon Pope.
Helmet's off, so he's got to come in and have a backup quarterback coming in now.
There you go. Lost the helmet that time, but able to make something out of nothing, as I imagine we'll see Jamoris Young come in at quarterback. Now, Jamoris Young does have some considerable playing time this season. A little better passer than Damon Pope is, so let's see what Rico Jackson has in mind for this play on 2nd and short.
Well, you can see both coaches right now, they're both determined to run the football, so and both of them doing a good job at it.
So 2nd down, and there you see a couple with that 1st down marker at the 37-yard line. Play clock down to 4. Snap to Young and the give to Williams as he'll pound his way across the 1st down marker, and a 1st down and 10. We have seen several flags so far tonight for Anniston as well, as they've had close to 10 penalties in the first quarter. And this is just the 2nd drive of the night offensively for Anniston. Their first drive took almost 8 minutes of the first quarter, but they turned it over on downs inside the 10-yard line. The winner has the upper hand in 4A Region 6 coming down the home stretch of the regular season. Receivers trips to the near side. Play clock at 5. Pope back in at quarterback. Play clock at 1. Snap goes off. Pump fake. And Pope under pressure and wants to go downfield. Has Carr, and he drops the football.
Those are the worst ones to catch right there. You know, you're wide open. You're thinking about scoring. You take your eye. You try to run before you catch it. You know, right there, Anderson tried just a little sucker route, tried to fake the screen, and the safety bit on the screen and had number 2 over the top.
Keyshawn Thomas, the only defender in the area at that time for Cherokee County, as J.V. Henderson was beaten badly by Ja'Cory Carr. But sometimes the hardest balls, as you mentioned, Coach, the most wide open balls.
Yep, look how you see it on Saturdays now. You know, you got to catch it before you can run.
So just over 7 minutes to go until halftime. A 2nd down and 10 for the Anniston Bulldogs from their own 38. Quick pass to Cunningham. They'll try and take it outside. Good juke move, gets across the 40 and wrapped up at about the 43-yard line. Like I said, Anniston huddle, or the coaching tent right below us kind of blocked us as far as the spot, but they'll spot the football indeed with that nose of the 40 at the 43-yard line. I imagine after this game, there's going to be both teams will need a lot of those 99-cent bags of ice from our friends at the Grubb Mart.
Yep.
All across our FNN coverage area. However, a big 3rd and 5 for Anniston. Pope on the give. Williams taken down in the backfield. And it's been an outstanding ball game so far in the first half. 3 tackles already, including 2 for a loss for number 52, Case Tittle. A superior pest control second look as Tittle able to come through and wrap up Jabari Williams from behind for a tackle for loss. So 4th down, as we'll have a punting situation, you would think, as Damon Pope also the punter, but that can present at least some opportunities for Rico Jackson to go into the bag of tricks.
Yeah, because you have to play defense against this. You can't put nobody deep.
Here's Pope in kind of a semi-punt situation, as he will quick kick it, but it's a short kick. However, does get a Anniston roll, as the turf helps get it about another 6 to 7 yards across the 35 to the 33-yard line of the Cherokee County Warriors. Interesting ball game. This has just combined the 4th possession for both of these offenses, and we have less than 5.5 minutes to go until halftime.
Yeah, it's been definitely a quick game.
Definitely.
You know, sometimes though you wonder, like, as coaches, like, we're having success running up the middle, and both times they ran the counter, they got chased down from the backside. So some adjustments probably be made at halftime on both sides.
Adam Griffith, Keyshawn Woods, Ben Mosley, J.V. Henderson, and the rest of the Cherokee County offense on the field. Give goes to Woods as he's taken down around the line of scrimmage. That's a great job that time on the part of Tariq Judkins, the linebacker, in making the stop.
That's exactly for Anderson. That's what you want. You want to get them in negative plays on first down. Now they're playing behind the chains, and you're making them have to throw the ball.
And, of course, whenever you talk with Jacob Kelly, at least away from the cameras, away from the microphones, he'll tell you they'll only throw the football if they have to.
Correct.
So that's a loss of 1. A tackle for loss for Judkins. 2nd and long.
Play action.
Here's Griffith, dumped down and in traffic and incomplete, intended for Case Hill. Nice job again. Looked like Judkins that time in pass coverage, able to cause the disruption and set up a 3rd and long.
You know, though, I think Cherokee County got away with one right there. They released the tight end downfield, and he was covered up. So I think they got away with could have been a penalty right there.
Yeah, also got away with throwing it in traffic and maybe turning it over that time.
Never throw the ball back across your body, especially against a team that can run.
So that was the first pass of the ball game for Cherokee County. They may have to throw it here on 3rd and 11. And they're going to need –
good screen down.
Yeah, they're going to need the 43 for the first down. However,
stay with great
Woods
job.
Wrapped up that time in the backfield by Charles Thomas, the senior.
Good job by Anderson right there. After a short kick, coming and getting them 3 and out and getting them behind the sticks. That's when you play Cherokee County. If you can keep them behind the sticks on 2nd down, you got a good chance to stop them. If they get positive yardage on 1st down, they're just going to keep doing what they do.
That's a loss of 3 yards. As there you see the twin returners of Carr, I believe, as well as Cunningham, that are back for, or check that, Damon Pope for Anniston. And then Hugh Miller, also the place kicker, in to punt. See what Anderson decides to do. Here comes the rush and a block punt.
Block, pick,
Big
score.
play for Anderson as Lewis goes in for the touchdown.
They almost had it last time, James. They got it then.
Kyrie Lewis, the senior, comes up with the big play for Anniston to get the Bulldogs on the board first.
You know, the Cherokee County, I'm sure, is so worried about covering the kick with those 2 guys deep that sometimes you forget to block.
Kyrie Lewis both with the block and the scoop and score as Anniston on the board with 3:48 to go until halftime. 2-point conversion try coming up for Anniston. Looks like you've got basically some sort of swinging gate look for the Bulldogs. You've got most of the offensive roster on the left side of the field. Pope lined up in the shotgun. Pope wants to try and go up the middle, and easy does it for Damon Pope on the 2-point conversion. We'll take the timeout. Late 2nd quarter, Anderson off the block punt and the 2-point conversion has an 8-0 lead. Big ball game tonight here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
A rapid first half so far, less than 4 minutes to go, 3:48 until halftime as Perry Monument Company brings us our second quarter. You can visit them at www.perrymonument.com. Also locations in both Center and Piedmont. Here comes Dariante Brooks for the kickoff. Now we saw a lot of short pooch kicks against Alexandria from Brooks. Let's see what he does here. Well, a bit deeper line drive as Henderson takes up the middle across the 30, spins and gets roughed up that time across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. As a first down upcoming for Cherokee County, as that was a big momentum swing that we saw on that block punt by Kyrie Lewis.
Yes, it was. And then to top it off, they went for 2. You know, right there as a coach, you get the swinging gate, and all you do is count numbers. You know, they had 4 over 4 and in the middle. Anderson just kept let the quarterback do his thing.
So special teams comes through for Coach Rico Jackson's Anniston Bulldogs as they're looking to up their mark on the season to 6-0. Cherokee County, after a 24-8 season opening loss at Piedmont, they've reeled off 5 consecutive wins. But they have a lot of work to do, and they haven't really had an opportunity to really get any rhythm going offensively so far tonight. Here's the counter give up the middle, as Keyshawn Woods has gotten almost the entire load of the carries tonight. And I think that indeed Jay Sean Stroop, his first carry of the night, able to get some solid yards across the 35 to about the 36-yard line.
You know, what made that even better, Cherokee County was playing with 10. So they were missing a guy on that. You could see a little confusion, but they only had 10 guys on the field that last snap.
I'm sure Jacob Kelly's probably rolling his eyes as far as which of the 11 players on the field didn't get out on the field.
Yeah, and I'm sure a coach is getting an earful on the sidelines as well.
2nd down and 6. Give goes
face
to Woods
mask.
As he gets stood up. Check that, Stroop stood up, and I believe there's your face mask flag as the tackle made by Jalen Henderson. But if it's a 15-yard variety, that's a Cherokee County first down.
I think that's the 15-yard variety. He swung him around right there. You know, as a coach, you hate the face mask, but, you know, you gotta award the effort, great effort on that kid to make that play.
As we take a look at Mr. Kenneth Breeding, picks up his penalty flag, and he'll tell us exactly what penalty will be assessed.
Yeah, Cherokee County's now gone to 2 tight ends to try to shore up those run-throughs right there on their pulls. So.
Foul, face mask.
They're going to call
on the defense
against the Bulldogs. 15-yard penalty.
So we'll see both Case Hill and Ben Mosley at tight end, and also a couple of running backs, Thomas and Stroop. Man in motion as Thomas, the call up the middle. Some solid yards close to midfield as he gets wrapped up by a handful of Cardinal shirts. Anderson in that Cardinal red tonight.
Hey, James, let me jump in here real quick with some score updates for you. Pell City trails Oxford 14-7 in that big matchup. Also, Aniana has the lead in their ball game. Piedmont and Locust Fork tied as well. But Glencoe is just laying it on Weaver. It's 35-0 right now up in Etowah County.
Griffith goes down the middle and incomplete, as the intended receiver at that time was Ethan Glass. Also some good defense by Kyrie Lewis as a superior pest control second look at that good defense over the middle, as you also had Damon Pope knock away that pass as he gets credited for the pass breakup.
Yeah, that's the last kid I think I'd go at it on Anderson's defense right there. I think I'd try to find somebody other than him. You know, to me, he's just a good – and I talked to a coach at Pleasant Grove last week that played Anderson, and they were more worried about him defensively than they were offensively.
3rd down and 7. Line to reach for the iCare Alabama first down, the Anniston 44. As you see Stroop flank out to the far side, and we'll have a whistle and a stoppage in play. A timeout. We'll take the timeout with them. 2:07 to go until halftime. Anniston 8 and Cherokee County nothing.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
.207 to go until halftime, as Anniston's Kyrie Lewis with a blocked punt along with the scoop and score, and Damon Pope's 2-point conversion, the only scoring so far in a rapidly played first half. 3rd down and 7. Griffith in the shotgun. Aniston shows blitz up the middle as Griffith time, and now tosses and has his man, but in and out of the hands.
Pass interference, late call right there.
Keyshawn Woods on the wheel route. As it appeared you had Lewis, the man, or check that Judkins, the linebacker, in coverage that commits the penalty. This will take a Superior Pest Control second look. And yeah, there
he got there. Look, you can see the official saw him wrap that arm on the back. That's what he saw. That, and he had 60 Cherokee County people screaming in his ear, pass interference.
Well, that certainly health matters for Cherokee County. And yeah, there you see the bear hug from Judkins in coverage of Keyshawn Woods. That's a big penalty to help out Cherokee County. So it keeps the Warriors on the field.
Pass interference against the Bulldogs.
Defensive pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Perry Monument Company, with our second quarter coverage. As Cherokee County, they're in position if they can get a score in a 2-point conversion to at least tie it going into the halftime locker room. Football now.
Wildcat look.
As there's Woods.
Touchdown.
As he's off to the races, and he's into the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown for Keyshawn Woods in Cherokee County. 36 yards out, and that's a big answer for the Cherokee County offense. As they gave up that blocked punt to put Aniston on top, but the Warriors aided by that pass interference penalty on 3rd down, as we'll take the Superior Pest Control replay look at Keyshawn Woods' 36-yard sprint. And you'll see Woods lined up in the backfield and able to basically shoot out of a cannon into the end zone for 6. Is now going for 2. As Woods takes the snap, tries to go up the middle and gets stood up and taken down shy of the goal line. As there you take a look at a very happy Jalen Henderson who helps prevent that 2-point conversion. Aniston still up by a couple, though. Less than 2 minutes to go until halftime here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At iCare Alabama, our goal is to meet the needs of every patient. Dr. Dwayne Mohan and Dr. Ryan Price always strive for excellent outcomes. We want each patient to get the best vision and medical care possible. At iCare Alabama, we utilize all the latest technological advances to ensure that you receive the best quality eye care. So call for an appointment at any of our 4 locations in Piedmont, Heflin, Roanoke, or Atala and see the difference. Most insurance is accepted. iCare Alabama. Efficient, effective eye care close to home.
MVP Wings kickoff brings us, or MVP Wings rather, brings us to Cherokee County kickoff. A low kickoff that's scooped up very nicely that time, about the 43-yard line by Kyrie Lewis, who's done that for the 2nd time so far this evening. James Hardy with you here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium. Also Matt Glover joining us. Pinch hitting tonight for Coach Eddie Bullock. And also Shasta Jones down along the sideline. We'll also hear some first half totals from Jackson New at halftime. Also the rest of our FNN crew with you tonight for a big Class 4A Region 6 clash between a couple of top 5 teams.
Aniston having to use those 2 timeouts early right here. I know they wish they had them back, especially in this situation.
Still 1:48 to go until halftime. Pope sends Judkins out as Pope drops back, steps up, has some time and now flushed out as he'll try and get away from the defense and does so as he's in the open field, still on his feet as he gets deep into Cherokee County territory, and that is some major athleticism that time.
Going to have a penalty right here on Aniston, it looks like, right here on the sidelines. Just dumb. Let him go. He's outside. He's blocking him hard, but you got to let him go when you get out of bounds.
I think we have the Cherokee County coaches next door to us, and we could hear them, at least right through our wall here in the press box, just screaming demand for a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be on Anniston.
And you can certainly hear the passion next door up here in the press box.
After the play, personal foul on the offense. First down.
So, oh wow!
I don't think they liked it either.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's a bad call. But
there's certainly the opinion next door as far as that offsetting penalty on the personal foul. However, a great I-Care Alabama first down run for Damon Pope. Williams on the call. Gets some running room as he pushes the pile forward close to the 30-yard line for a gain of about 8.
Looks like same play right here, James. Coaches are giving a roll at call. Usually when they do that, that means they're running the same play again. I'd look for the same exact play here.
So second down. Give again to Williams. Tries to bounce it to the outside. Has running room. Goes to the corner. Tripped up. Or he might have had about 5 more yards as Tatum Perry on the tackle.
I think now we're going to get one down here on Cherokee County. I think it's going to be on Cherokee County on defense. So,
and there indeed is the flag at the near side of the field around the 25-yard line.
You know, as coaches right here, you need to get those kids, get them calmed down, get them, Now he's talking to the sidelines. You never want to do that.
So Kenneth Breeding will again inform us here in just a moment as far as the penalty. Also, a big thanks, as always, to our friends at the Calhoun County Commission.
That's his second penalty. If it's his second penalty, he's out of the game.
And once again, offsetting penalties. Also, the Calhoun County Commission helps bring us our FNN High School football game of the week. And there you see the starting 5, and we'll have a special tribute as far as one of those former starting 5 at halftime.
James, I'm not sure, but I think that's both of their second penalties in a row.
It is indeed on back-to-back plays. Here's
quarterback counter.
Yeah, Pope, a nice little magician job there.
Helmet's off again.
As he loses the helmet indeed, as Matt rightly points out, gets stopped across the 15 to about the 13-yard line. So we'll see Jamorius Young come back in for a play. So Damon Pope, after a couple of runs so far in the first half, has had to come out with a flying helmet come loose.
Well, the problem is now that these kids have this long hair. And the helmets, they wear a helmet like he's probably wearing a large helmet where he really should be wearing a medium. So I used to make mine, if you had long hair, you wore a helmet smaller than because it was always happening to him.
So Young comes in at quarterback.
Better hurry up. A lot of time running off here.
Play clock at 13. Game clock at 25.
Oh,
there's a bad snap as
Lord.
Williams picks it up, trying to do something out of nothing.
Great
However,
play.
he's thrown down
out,
in the backfield.
Yep.
Nate Black on the tackle as the clock down to 11 seconds, and now a timeout called for with 10 seconds left until halftime.
I think they're going to put a couple more seconds back on the clock. But right there you see, little things in football mean big. Kid's helmet falls off the second time in the game. You have to run your backup in there. You run clock off and a bad snap. So, just little things. Attention to detail.
So the tackle made by Nate Black about the 20-yard line. In fact, we will have a special feature at halftime. As you might have heard, as far as the news of one of the members of the 5 of the Calhoun County Commission in J.D. Hess that sadly and unfortunately passed away very recently. So we'll have a special tribute as far as Mr. J.D. Hess is concerned. However, that right now still a little bit of work to do for both of these teams. 5 more seconds added to the clock, so 15 seconds left until we get to halftime.
They put 5 more seconds out. It really helps Anderson right here because really you got 2 plays, where before you probably only had 1 play.
So Damon Pope comes back onto the field. So it's now a 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Line to reach the 12 for the first down. Pope. Time. Now tosses and almost intercepted. Nearly picked off as a solid job by Cooper Allen, the veteran safety, on the pass breakup.
Yeah, a little behind the receiver. He was open. He just let him a little behind.
The pass intended for Caleb Moore, as it'll now be 4th down and 8 with 9 seconds to go.
Get the first down here. The clock stops. So I'd look for him to try to get the first down here for sure.
Also, watch out for the legs of Damon Pope if you're the Cherokee County defense.
Don't take it out of his hands right here.
So a huge 4th down for the Cherokee County defense to try and get off the field. Here's the snap. Pope goes toward the end zone. Incomplete.
They could have got it. That could have been a flag there. The receiver, the DB was there early.
Again, intended for Moore. Yes, I think that was Tatum Perry that time that came in on the deflection. So we'll take a second look. And yeah, a lot of physicality that time on the part of Perry as he's able to strip away that pass. As it's going to be a 2-point margin going into halftime, as imagine Jacob Kelly is just going to have Adam Griffith take a knee on the football.
Yeah, and the quarterback there, he was behind the last 2 throws, but really he's not getting his feet set, and a lot of that's because the pressure Cherokee County's getting to him.
Jay Sean Stroop now checking in as that 11th player. Should be the final play of the half, and indeed Adam Griffith goes to the knee, and we are now at halftime as a low-scoring ball game, as both teams have kept it on the ground almost exclusively so far in the first half, as our Shasta Jones awaiting off in the east end zone to talk, I imagine, with Coach Rico Jackson prior to the Bulldogs going to the halftime locker room. A lot of adjustments are going to be made by both teams on both sides of the ball, certainly, as the Anniston Bulldogs able to get a block punt from Kyrie Lewis and a scoop and score from Lewis off of that, along with the 2-point conversion successfully done by Damon Pope. And also Keyshawn Woods with a touchdown run as Cherokee County's lone score so far in the first half. The winner of this ball game has the upper hand coming down the stretch of the regular season when it comes to getting the region title out of Region 6. We're awaiting Coach Rico Jackson to get to our FNN microphones here. As Shasta Jones in position. Rico Jackson battling a respiratory illness this week. And here is Rico Jackson with Shasta Jones.
Coach Jackson, Lewis had an amazing play blocking the punt and putting the points on the board for the Bulldogs, but penalties killed them this first half. What needs to change the second half so you guys can come back out, stop the penalties, put some drives and points on the board?
Yeah, just don't have any penalties. I mean that's the name of the game right now. I feel like we made plays, but we stalled out, so we just got to get in the end zone.
All right, well, good luck the second half.
Thank you.
We're going to send it back to you, James.
Thank you, Shasta, and thank you, Coach Rico Jackson, as we'll take the halftime timeout. Our timeout and our halftime coverage brought to you by the Calhoun County Commission, as we'll step aside for this timeout here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At iCare Alabama, our goal is to meet the needs of every patient. Dr. Dwayne Mohan and Dr. Ryan Price always strive for excellent outcomes. We want each patient to get the best vision and medical care possible. At iCare Alabama, we utilize all the latest technological advances to ensure that you receive the best quality eye care. So call for an appointment at any of our 4 locations in Piedmont, Heflin, Roanoke, or Atala and see the difference. Most insurance is accepted. iCare Alabama. Efficient, effective eye care close to home.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
At halftime, a low-scoring defensive struggle between Cherokee County and Anniston as Anniston leads by 2, 8-6. It's halftime here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium as the Cherokee County High School Marching Band performs here at halftime.
for the Cherokee County High School Marching Warrior Band.
County High School Marching Band here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium as our halftime coverage presented by our friends at the Calhoun County Commission. And at least earlier this week, it came out that one of the stalwarts, one of those MVPs when it comes to the starting five that you see at the top right-hand corner of your screen in J.D. Hess, passed away earlier this week. Almost 3 decades as far as serving Calhoun County on the Calhoun County Commission. As we certainly, from our FNN family, send our condolences to the family of J.D. Hess on his recent passing. And we at FNN have a special tribute as far as one of Calhoun County's finest to present to you here at halftime.
Did you know Kona Ice can help you fundraise for your school? It's true. It's quick, it's easy, and the kids absolutely love having Kona Ice. We'll let you in on a little secret. Teachers love it too. So, how can we help you fundraise this year? It's quick, it's easy, the kids love it, and teachers love it too.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
At halftime, you see the Anniston Marching Band perform in front of the home folks here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium, 8-6, as the offenses haven't been on the field a whole lot so far through the first 24 minutes of play. James Hardy, Matt Glover, along with Shasta Jones and the rest of our FNN crew. And now we bring on our Jackson New to go over our first half totals for what has been a very quickly played first half, Jackson.
Yeah, for sure. And like you were saying, kind of lackluster on both sides of the offense. And really, penalties have really dictated this game as well. You know, Keyshawn Wood has been the offense for Cherokee County. 10 carries, 75 yards in the touchdown. You've seen that wildcat formation he broke out for about a 36-yard touchdown. That was absolutely huge. Then you had Case Tittle on the defense side of the ball. He's been absolutely huge. You know, 2 tackle for losses in key moments, as well as Nate Black with another tackle for loss in a key moment. And on the other side of the ball for the Bulldogs, Jabari Williams has really been the offense. 11 carries, 71 yards. Contavious Cunningham's been very big too, 3 carries, 20 yards. Damon Pope, 5 carries, 50 yards. He's came up in some big moments, made some plays with his legs. You know, there's only been 2 completions in this whole entire ball game so far, and it's been by Damon Pope. 2 completions, 7 yards. And, of course, the big play for the Bulldogs, Kyrie Lewis on the punt block touchdown, which is kind of what ignited Anniston to take the lead here going into the half.
And you mentioned the special teams has been at least the big play from Kyrie Lewis has come in the special teams for Anniston, as Jackson mentioned, that a block punt and then the ensuing scoop and score. And don't forget Damon Pope's 2-point conversion that's given the Anniston Bulldogs what is now just a 2-point advantage at halftime. I'm going to be interested, Jackson, in just a few minutes to hear what Jacob Kelly has to say to Shasta Jones as far as what his team needs to do to try and come from behind and get across the finish line with a win.
I think you got to keep feeding Keyshawn Woods. I mean, he's looked very unstoppable here. I mean, I'd love to see them go back to that Wildcat formation as well. They only ran it one time, and he broke off for a huge, huge play.
Well, we've seen in years past for Jacob Kelly coach teams to where, hey, if they need to get some movement along that line of scrimmage, they'll just go and load up in that Wildcat, as you mentioned, and just pound away, especially when Jacob Carnejo and Tay Diamond were getting the call in the backfield in the 22 and 23 football seasons. And that's something we really haven't talked about, just the impact that Tay Diamond brought, especially defensively. They're missing that, but so far this year, still a good, solid start for Cherokee County as they're in search of what would be their 4th consecutive trip to the Super 7.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I still have nightmares about those guys you mentioned. I had to play in my junior year of high school at Mumford, man. They were unstoppable in the backfield.
Unstoppable indeed as we take a look at the Anniston Marching Band. In fact, let's go ahead and take a little bit of at least a listen to the sounds of Anniston's marching band here at halftime. At halftime at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium, as we close in on the start of the second half, James Hardy along with Matt Glover, Shasta Jones down on the sidelines as we're awaiting Coach Jacob Kelly for Cherokee County to come to Shasta and our FNN microphones for his assessment of the first half, and most importantly, what the Warriors need to do to get across that finish line successfully on the road in a key region matchup between the Warriors of Cherokee County, ranked 4th this week in the state in Class 4A, and number 5, Anniston, who's still undefeated so far on the season. Shasta Jones getting in position, and Coach Jacob Kelly down with our Shasta Jones.
Coach Kelly, we saw Kashawn Woods put your touchdown on the board this first half. What does your team got to do this second half to put more points on the board and bring home a W tonight?
We got to settle down. The crazy stuff that we talked about throughout the week that's going to come in a game like this gets us out of rhythm. It gets us out of playing the way we need to play to finish it. And so we've got to hopefully settle them down at halftime. We got to play a little bit tougher, execute a little bit better. We've had stuff there, but again, when you're playing good football teams, I mean, you gotta execute, and so anyway, that's what we need to do this half.
Well, good luck this second half.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. We're going to send it back to you, James.
Thank you, Shasta and Coach Jacob Kelly. Matt, you heard what Coach Jacob Kelly's had to say, and I know that's one of those buzzwords that coaches like to use a lot, and that's wanting their teams to be able to consistently execute.
Yeah, in the first half, really and truly, Anniston's really killed themselves with penalties. They've got some positive yards and then had a face mask, holding penalty. Cherokee County, like you said at halftime, I see them coming back out in that Wildcat look like they did first half. I remember whenever they went on this run, we played them when I was at Etowah, and the quarterback got hurt, and they went to this look, and we didn't know what to do, and we couldn't stop them. And I told him at the end of the year, we had a region meeting going over all region players. And I told Coach, I said, you owe me part of that bonus you got for making it to the finals, because when y'all got in that formation, man, they were unstoppable, especially with, you had Cornejo and I forgot the other kid's name. But,
Tay Diamond?
Yeah, I think he was just a ninth grader. They had another kid, he could fly. And so I see, when a coach is going to go to what they know is successful, and with those big bodies in there, I see them doing the same thing second half.
Yeah, Coach, this is Jim down in the trailer. You hear this all the time in football. It doesn't matter if it's college, pros, high school, whatever. It's if you leave the door open, and I feel like that's what Anniston's done in this first half. By all the mistakes and stuff, they've left the door open for Cherokee County. Otherwise, I think Anniston would be up by a couple of touchdowns right now.
Yeah, I agree. And also Cherokee County's been here. They've been there, done that. So, here's Anniston. They're having a great year. But how do you handle adversity? They haven't. I know they made a good run last year, but you're talking about a team that's played in December 3 years in a row. So they're used to winning. They're used to coming from behind or being close. So I look for them to come out second half and really try to impose their will.
And tell you, Matt, got to talk with Jacob Kelly yesterday morning, and we talked about as far as just, a big game coming up. And as far as when we were up at Piedmont a couple weeks ago for their game against Westbrook Christian, talking with Ben Dempsey as well as Carson Sanders, they quickly reminded me about Piedmont's, just the culture of the program, that every game is a big game. And Jacob Kelly really said a lot of the same for his program, especially over the last 3 seasons with the number of big games they played, with how every team, at least in the northern half of Alabama in the North Division of 4A, treats Cherokee County as basically like a World Series national championship type of ball game. Every game now is a big game for Cherokee County.
Right. And this is a first round home playoff type game right here. So. And first round home playoff game, and I haven't looked at the brackets and in their bracket, but this is a big game. So,
in fact, what we're talking about is basically something that Jacob Kelly also talked to our FNN microphones about, as far as just the lessons they've learned as far as the last 3 seasons to get them motivated for a game like this.
Losing the last game is definitely motivation, because it's motivation in itself. But what I use more than the result of that game is, seniors, do y'all want to be the ones that don't play? Do y'all want to be the one class? Because this senior group's never not played for a state title. They've never not been a region champion. My motivation, it doesn't really come from the result of that game. It's the results in the past 3 years that they've experienced since they have been in high school, what's going on in 2025.
Some outstanding comments there from Jacob Kelly, longtime head coach now for Cherokee County. as he's entering now his 7th season as the head coach of the Warriors, and he's done just an outstanding job of forming and helping build this Warriors football program into one of the best in the state of Alabama. And there also the FNN Coaches Show this week, again from top of the river, not too far away from here. In fact, just about an extra point kick away from Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. We'll have a breakdown of a lot of big games this week, as well as another big region week coming up in the second Thursday and Friday of the month of October. As the end of the regular season not too far away, and we'll be up at Titan Stadium on Friday night for another huge 6A Region 8 battle between Gadsden City and Fort Payne. And both of those teams could be facing off undefeated in region play if both teams are able to hold their end of the deal tonight in Class 6A Region 8 play.
Big series here for Cherokee County, to get to come out and flip the field and not even if you don't get points, just flip the field.
Darionte Brooks with the MVP wings kickoff. Henderson
blocking the back.
Fields at the 21-yard line as he goes up the middle of the field, and the whistles do not blow until Henderson able to get a few extra yards on third effort at the 44-yard line. So this is great field position for the Cherokee County Warriors as the Tractor Place presents our third quarter. You can find them at www.tractorplacealabama.com.
Cherokee County, you heard the Anniston coaches beside us hollering, blocking the back. I think they got away with one right there on the opening kickoff.
We've heard a lot of opinions so far as the officiating on the other side, at least from some of the Cherokee County assistants up here in the booth. Adam Griffith, there you see, awaits the snap as we begin our third quarter. And it's Woods off the left side as he's able to at least churn out some yards across the 45 to about the 49-yard line. And Keyshawn Woods with one touchdown so far tonight. Also had 223 yards and 3 touchdowns a couple of weeks ago in a region win against White Plains. 5 yards on first down. So second down upcoming. Woods right into the teeth of the Anniston defense, and this time lucky if he gets back to the line of scrimmage. A big third down coming up as Anniston, Matt, would love to get off the field here on third down.
Yeah, I know Cherokee County wants to run the ball, and that's their MO, but the play action passes right now I think are open because you got basically 9 guys within 6 yards of the ball.
Well, you took a look there at our vantage point from Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. It's the field turf here, just a couple of seasons old. Third down and long.
There it is.
Play fake. Griffith under pressure. There's a flag on the play. It's a throw into traffic, and it's complete to J.V. Henderson as he's on his feet at the 20. Reverses field and wrapped up about the 15-yard line, but hold everything.
Yep, going to get a hold in on Anniston.
Certainly deserving of a superior pest control second look as Henderson got free, but that's all for naught. Kenneth Breeding already gave us the initial indication of a hold, so that's going to be really the impact of more than just that 10-yard penalty. Looking ahead for both of these teams, Anniston on the road at Etowah next week. And then back at home against Hoax Bluff next week for their senior night for Cherokee County.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty, third down.
So third down upcoming, and it's going to be almost the distance to center as far as the line to reach for the first down for Cherokee County.
Yeah, you don't work this in practice too much, James.
Here's
sprint draw.
Yeah, delay give goes to Keyshawn Woods, and not very much at all as he gets to the 34-yard line. So the penalty costs Cherokee County a red zone opportunity as fourth down on the way. And that brings out Hugh Miller, the punter. Just his third punt. One of those, of course, got blocked by Kyrie Lewis and returned for a touchdown. So you'll have Damon Pope along with Ja'Cory Card, the dual returners. There's a solid snap and a decent kick by Miller. Line drive that lands at the 35 and goes out of bounds about the 32-yard line. So Anniston, now they'll officially spot it at the 33-yard line. So the Bulldogs, they'll take over first down and 10.
Now you want to see what Anderson's going to do. Are they going to stay with the game plan early, run the ball in A-gap, or are they going to spread it out and, try to get some yardage that way?
Tractor Place, your number one place for tractors and lawnmowers in Center, Alabama, located on the East Bypass, 2105 East Bypass in Center. And there you see, you can also visit them at tractorplacealabama.com. Anniston wants to be able to plow their way down the field here. First and 10 from their own 33. Empty backfield now for Damon Pope. Pope, a little quick pass to Cunningham. Tries to spread it out. Nice.
Good pursuit.
Exactly about to say that. You read my mind there, Matt. It's a good pursuit. Looked as if by Thomas from his safety spot on the tackle for a loss of about a couple.
Another thing Cherokee County's done a good job of is tackling an open field this game. They haven't, with the exception of the quarterback runs, getting loose a couple times. They've done a good job when they get there getting the guy down.
Well, you look at their 3 state championship losses, especially the last couple of years. Cherokee County's had some issues against athletic teams like Montgomery Catholic and Jackson trying to defend those athletic type of teams. 2nd and 12. Delay give. Nice job as Cunningham with some running room. As he'll drag a tackler with him across the 40, close to the 45, and that is more than good enough for that iCare Alabama first down. There you see with locations in Piedmont, Roanoke, and Attala, 844-480-2020. A good play call that time from Rico Jackson and the Anniston coaching staff to go with that delayed draw and able to free up Quintavious Cunningham for a first down carry. Ball at the 45, still their own.
Counter.
And there's the keeper for Pope as he goes off right tackle.
Yep.
And taken down at about the Cherokee County 47-yard line. Looks as if Cooper Allen came up from his safety spot on the tackle.
You see the adjustments Anniston made in the second half. They spread them out. Earlier they were running the counter and getting run down by the backside. Now they're letting the quarterback read that last man on line of scrimmage. He kept it right there, putting pressure on the defense.
7:40 to go and counting here in the third quarter. Anniston would love to get some little breathing room, some insurance on the scoreboard, only up 2. Give goes to Cunningham as that's his 3rd consecutive carry.
Going to be short, 3rd and short.
Yeah, only gets about a couple, well, maybe 1.5, needed a full 2 yards. Line of scrimmage at the 45.5 or so, so it's going to be 3rd and a little more than a baby step to go. In fact, that might be a little closer to a full yard than I initially thought. They spot the football back at the 46.
Cherokee County is now going to 4-man front. That's their adjustment, looks like, for short yardage stuff.
3rd and short. Here's Williams, first down, as he crosses the 45 at about the 43. Needed a full yard and got about 3, so the drive remains alive for the Anniston Bulldogs. So very interesting that as far as that game plan that it appeared coming out of the locker room to start the ball game, Anniston wanted to also show their physicality, and that's picking up as far as the early moments of this third quarter. Ball just about exclusively on the ground on this drive. As Williams looks like on the call this time. Cunningham has gotten the majority of carries so far on the drive, as indeed Jabari Williams, this time bottled up for maybe about a half yard.
A lot of talking going on out there, James. Officials need to kind of get this under control. Too much talking on both sides. You don't want to ruin a good game with, running mouths and all that type of stuff. So.
Well, we've already seen a couple of offsetting personal foul penalties late in the second quarter. We've crossed the 6-minute mark to go here in the third quarter. Second and long. Cunningham, the setback. Pope wants to throw. Loads up, goes downfield, has a receiver, and it is juggled and incomplete.
That's a great example of why you never quit on a play. Great job by the corner who's covering somebody else to come back and knock that ball away. Great job.
This was a perfect throw from Pope on the Superior Pest Control second look as Ja'Cory Carr got behind J.V. Henderson. And let's take a look at this very last second from Rogers, the other cornerback. Or check that Tatum Perry, the safety, as he's able to come away at just the very last second, Matt, to knock it away.
Yep, keep playing.
That's the second long ball also that Ja'Cory Carr has had go through his hands tonight.
Yeah, good throw by the quarterback. He got his feet set there, hit him right in stride. Got to make a play.
Third down. Play clock down to 2. As we'll have a timeout called for. As Anniston takes the timeout, and we'll take it with them. 5:26 to go in the third. It's still Anniston 8 and Cherokee County 6.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
Third down and long. Line to reach for the first down for Anniston is the Cherokee County just inside the 35. Pope. He'll sprint out. Has a convoy if he wants to run, and now sprints it up and gets the first down.
If I'm Anniston, I'm staying in that right there. I'm letting that kid have the pass run option. It just puts so much pressure on the defense when you have a guy like that at quarterback.
I thought maybe Ethan Glass might have had a chance initially to make the first down, or at least the stop prior to Pope getting the first down. But Damon Pope on that second effort was able to propel himself for that I-Care Alabama first down. So needed just across the 35 and got the 34, did Damon Pope, the senior. So the Bulldogs stay on the field on offense. Play clock under 10. Give goes to Jabari Williams. Good spin move as he almost gets himself free to the end zone, but just tripped up. I think Dylan Duncan might have gotten just enough of that back of the shoe for Jabari Williams to prevent a touchdown.
I've been really impressed by both of these backs from both teams, how hard they run. Great vision, good balance, two good running backs.
There you see the Superior Pest Control second look, and that also leads us into our first red zone opportunity, brought to you by Perry Funeral Home. Ball inside the 20 at the 18. And almost losing the football that time was Jabari Williams as he's sandwiched around the line of scrimmage as Keyshawn Thomas and Cooper Allen come up to make the stop. Perry Funeral Home, located on the East Bypass, 1611 East Bypass in Center, Alabama, honoring life, as well as providing a permanent memorialization, veteran services, flowers and gifts, funeral services, and they'll help you design the funeral for your loved one.
You can see Cherokee County, what they're doing. They're sending an extra D lineman in and going two A-gap defenders to try to stop that inside run game.
Less than 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Time-consuming drive for Anniston. Give goes to Cunningham as he'll get tripped up and crosses the 15 to about the 14-yard line. A Perry Funeral Home red zone visit for Anniston, as you can find Perry Funeral Home online at perryfuneral.net, or you can as we've got a big third down coming up. The tractor place brings us our third quarter. 3rd down and 8. Eye Care Alabama first down at the 6-yard line. Pope on the sprint out. Has blocking in front of him. Turns the corner. Determined to get that first down, and I think he got it, Matt.
Yeah, he got it. Good run. Good call by the coaching staff.
Got banged up initially that time by Jaquan Diamond, the linebacker. But again, that second effort for the second time on this drive gets a key 3rd down conversion for Anniston for Damon Pope. 1st and goal now at the 5.
Anniston needs to come away with some points here. This drive started, way back. They've done a good job moving the football.
Drive started at about the 30-yard line or so their own. Here's the give. Williams stood up for maybe about a yard. See who comes out of the Case Tittle, looks like. He's had a great ball game up front for Cherokee County as he comes up to make the stop. Couple tackles for loss from the defensive line for Tittle. And looks as if that Jabari Williams lost his helmet, so he'll check out of the ball game.
You can see what Cherokee County is doing right here. They're looking at personnel. When they send certain guys in, they're sending their 4-man front. Jare
Gutierrez checks in at running back. In fact, he's the lone setback on 2nd and goal. On the sprint out. Reversing field is Pope. Has the end zone in sight. Hurries it up and gets in for the touchdown. All Damon Pope that time, Matt, as Anniston increases their lead up to 8.
Yeah, that's just pure athleticism right there. Cherokee County stopped it at the point of attack. He reversed field, just a great individual play right there.
Now we got a big 2-point conversion try, but not before we get the Superior Pest Control second look at Damon Pope's speed and athleticism that get him into the end zone for 6 from 4 yards out.
Once again, they got the numbers if they want to fake it here.
2-point conversion try, as we'll have a flag on the play. See what Mr. Breeding has to say as far as who is the guilty party.
Talking about red?
Looks like they lined up. That's the problem when you go water bucket. Sometimes those old linemen.
Encroachment. Team. 5-yard penalty. Still.
You were mentioning, Matt, that the alignment can present some issues for the offense.
They're not used to being that far out. They're basically like a receiver now, so the outside receiver's got to make sure he gets lined up, and they all have to line up off him.
Requires a lot of discipline during the week.
Correct.
As far as preparation is concerned.
Little things, James. Little things win big games. Things win big games.
In fact, I was at practice on Tuesday here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium to watch Rico Jackson's team prepare as far as tonight's game, and he was really happy as far as their Tuesday and Monday practices with how those went. And really I think that just the entire team was in pretty good mood. I mean, you go 5-0, have a big win in region play just a few weeks ago against Alexandria, and certainly in a type of position to make a statement in the state tonight when it comes to one of the top teams over the last 3 years in Cherokee County. I imagine that's a good reason to be in a jolly mood coming into tonight.
No doubt.
2-point conversion try. Cherokee County really could use a stop here to at least have this remain a one-possession ball game as we're late in the 3rd quarter.
They got numbers.
Here's the fade pass to the far side.
Great throw, great play.
Knocked away and incomplete as Jay-Sean Stroop knocks it away from Ja'Cory Carr. We'll take the timeout. 1:44 to go in the 3rd quarter as it's Anniston 14 and Cherokee County 6.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
late in the third quarter as Anniston leads Cherokee County in a defensive slugfest 14-6 here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium. A battle of number 4 versus number 5 in Class 4A. The winner has the inside track to take the top seed in postseason play from Region 6 as Dariante Brooks with the MVP Wings kickoff. And over in as that goes to Henderson at about the 16-yard line as he'll accelerate. And check that, might have been also Keyshawn Thomas is able to make his way. Jay-Sean Stroop tried a third time and come up as far as the right player with that kickoff return, the MVP Wings kickoff as they get the football in good field position. And in fact, a big play earlier tonight from Anniston as far as Kyrie Lewis and his block punt and scoop and score. In fact, let's send it down to Shasta Jones as far as what she was able to gather from Kyrie Lewis this week.
Wildcat.
We'll check that after this first down play. As the
ball.
A Wildcat indeed has a fumble, a loose ball.
Anniston ball.
And the Anniston Bulldogs able to come out with it as it looks as if that the linebacker for the Anniston Bulldogs and Tariq Judkins able to come out with it. As there you see the ball pop out and Judkins able to fall on it on that Superior Pest Control second look. So that's a big turnover as Anniston gets the ball back. And let's see if we can send it back to Shasta and hear more about Kyrie Lewis.
Kyrie's been working to prepare himself for the next level. He has already seen improvement this season with his open field tackling, his mindset, and the mental part about how to play the game. He has seen his team improving on togetherness, and it has been helping a lot, and it's been showing on the field. Throwing it back to you, James.
Thank you very much, Shasta. As that's a big turnover for the Anniston defense, the first turnover of the night. Here's Pope, winds up under pressure and gets out of the tackle as now he throws and gets the completion. Cunningham on the reception. Give a lot of credit again to Damon Pope as he absorbed a big blow. Still had the presence of mind to find an open running back.
Yeah, just a great play right there. You know, you think you got him stopped in the backfield for a big stop. Next thing you know, it's first down.
What could have been a Jaquan Diamond sack turns into a completion from Pope to Quintavious Cunningham for an iCare Alabama first down. Big thanks to Dr. Reed Mohan, as well as the folks at iCare Alabama for presenting our first downs tonight. Football inside the Cherokee County 40. Cunningham off the left end as he races out of bounds across the 30, and that should be close to another first down carry. Another iCare Alabama first down. Efficient, effective iCare close to home. And there you see locations, of course, all across our coverage area in Piedmont, Roanoke, and Atala. So just about anywhere in our FNN coverage area, you can get that efficient, effective iCare close to home with iCare Alabama. So football inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. Pope rolls, has some running room if he wants to accelerate and does so. And now he'll just coast out of bounds and almost paid for it that time as Tatum Perry just about came up and put a big blow on Damon Pope.
Yeah, he needs to get out of bounds a little quicker there. Don't take unwanted hits.
As that's a little casual. We've seen in the pros and in the college level that type of casual strolling out of bounds can cost a quarterback if they're not careful. So second down, that will net 7, maybe 8 yards. Clock stops at 31 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Tractor Place presents our third quarter. Football at the 20, a low snap, but Pope able to scoop it up. And he'll, at least on second effort, gets inside the 20 at the 19-yard line as Nate Black comes up from his linebacking spot on the stop. Red zone opportunity again, presented by Perry Funeral Home as Anniston in the red zone for a second consecutive trip. And they're just going to let this third quarter wind its way down. As a big fourth quarter coming up, a Perry Funeral Home red zone trip that Anniston is presently on. As here you see the Anniston Bulldogs maybe celebrating in another 12 minutes what could be a key region win as the fourth quarter coming up.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Fourth quarter begins as the Anniston Bulldogs lead 14-6 here on the FNN High School football game of the week. David's Record Service brings us down the finish line tonight in the final 12 minutes. A big thanks to them for providing us our fourth quarter coverage with 24-hour towing. James Hardy, Coach Matt Glover, Shasta Jones, Jackson New, Jim Jacobs, our FNN family, of course, with us here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium. Third down and short awaits the Anniston Bulldogs. They need to get the football to the 17 for an iCare Alabama first down. Snap and give. And
short, fourth down.
Yeah, not a whole lot that time. Good pursuit by Case Tittle along with the middle linebacker Ethan Glass as they're able to come up and stop the reserve running back Jare Gutierrez. In fact, that might have been lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. And I think that lost actually a half yard, so fourth down on the way for Anniston. This is one of, if not the biggest plays in the ball game for the Cherokee County defense. Cherokee County dying for a stop here. Fourth down and a long 2. Pope. He wants to go off the right side, stretches it out, and has his first down and more as he runs over a defender before he goes out of bounds as Tatum Perry was there, at least to get the receiving end of that tackle.
I know I sound like a broken record, but I don't take it out of Two's hands right now. You know, right now he's the best player on the field right now, and he can make things happen.
He stepped up his game as far as just big playmaking ability for the Anniston offense. As a first and goal off of, we'll call it a 15-yard carry on fourth down for that iCare Alabama first down. Jabari Williams in the backfield. Early fourth quarter. Williams up the middle, and he powers his way toward the goal line. And let's see, do they give him the touchdown? No, they don't, as they mark that football just
touchdown.
Inside.
The guy down here called touchdown, James.
So, indeed, now Kenneth Breeding confirms it is a touchdown. So you had the far official that's marked it down and the near side official that said touchdown. And so the Kenneth Breeding says it is an Anniston touchdown from Jabari Williams from 5 yards out. That's a huge touchdown, Matt, for Anniston to put themselves up by 2 scores.
Yes, it was. You know, coming off a turnover right there. Great run by the running back, keeping his feet moving. You know, both these running backs are hard to stop.
So now a 2-point conversion try upcoming. Pope trying to go to the near side. Now
Holding.
Tosses, and that is incomplete with a flag on the play.
You're going to have holding, so that'll be declined there.
So make it 20-6, as right now Cherokee County has been at least behind in the ball game since the second quarter. Here's your holding call, declined, and the 2-point conversion try no good, so let's take the timeout. 10:49 to go in the ball game. It's Anniston 20 and Cherokee County 6.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit Debit Card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Oxford's 35-17 over Pell City.
20-6 here in Anniston, Alabama at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium as the Anniston Bulldogs, 10 minutes, 49 seconds away from what would be their 6th win of the season, their 4th in region play, and what a victory would likely get them to the top spot at the end of the regular season in region play, because coming into tonight, Anniston had already played Alexandria, Hokes Bluff, and Asheville, and had won against all 3 of those opponents. Here's the MVP Wings kickoff upcoming.
Yeah, a win here by Anniston almost surely gives them a home field advantage first round of playoffs.
In fact, you look at their remaining schedule, and at least on paper, arguably their toughest game is the end of the regular season at Jacksonville in non-region play.
Better hurry up here on the kickoff. You don't want to get a delay game on kickoff.
Dariante Brooks with the MVP Wings kickoff. End over in kick and goes over the head of Jay-Sean Stroop as that goes into and out of the end zone for a touchback. Keyshawn Woods scored a touchdown in the second quarter for Cherokee County tonight, as we'll take a look at our game of the week next week. Eddie Bullock will rejoin us next Friday up at Titan Stadium. 6:30 for our countdown to kickoff and 7 o'clock for the kickoff of Fort Payne in Gadsden City. That's a key 6A Region 8 battle for those two teams next week.
Yeah, that'll probably determine region champ as well in that region.
I think you're right about that, Matt.
Wildcat again.
Fort Payne, a consistent program up in our part of Alabama, in northeast Alabama. As there's Keyshawn Woods on the direct snap as he'll get a couple of yards across the 20 to about, they'll give him the 23-yard line. In fact, I'll send it down to Shasta Jones again, as she had an opportunity to talk with Keyshawn Woods earlier this week from Cherokee County.
Keyshawn has seen improvement so far this season in his vision, acceleration, working with his O-line, and chemistry with them. He wants to achieve 1,500 yards and 20 touchdowns this season and ultimately win the state championship with his team. He wants the younger players to learn that if you work for it, you'll get it. If everybody works as hard and pushes themselves, they'll be the best player they can become. And Keyshawn, fun fact, his prep for tonight's game includes listening to his pregame song by John by Lil Wayne featuring Rick Ross. And that's how he gets ready for a game. Throwing it back to you, James.
Very well done there, Shasta, as Keyshawn Woods, a 6-yard gain out of that Wildcat set. 3rd and 1. He gets wrapped up, but his strength gets him to the first down marker, and that should be enough for a Cherokee County first down.
Shasta, I think that's the same thing Jim listens to get ready for games.
I think you may be onto something there, Matt. First down and at 10 coming up. However, time of the essence for Cherokee County. They do have all of their timeouts at their disposal, but there's less than 10 minutes to go, and they're down 2 scores. And as you know, Matt, not exactly an offense that's known for scoring quick.
No.
David's Record Service presents our fourth quarter. Adam Griffith back in at quarterback. As there's the give to Woods. Dariante Brooks comes up and able to make the tackle after about a 2-yard gain for Keyshawn Woods, who does have a touchdown tonight. And a 31-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. That's so far Cherokee County's only score of the night. Prior to tonight, 8 points at Piedmont, a season low in scoring for Cherokee County. There's Woods as he lowers the head, and not going to get a whole lot. Gets to about the 34-yard line. And Anniston more than content to just let Cherokee County run the football between the tackles, as they have a 14-point advantage.
You know, one thing goes unnoticed in games like this is like Big 75 right there in the middle. He's taking up 2 blocks every time. And he might not be making the tackle, but he's causing a lot of these plays not to be positive yardage.
Anniston hopes that a win tonight is a little money in the bank for them, courtesy of our friends at FNN Bank, as a 3rd down and 5. Here's Griffith over the middle and has his tight end completed Mosley as he crosses midfield to the 49-yard line. Ben Mosley, his first catch of the night, and that keeps the Cherokee County offense on the field for an iCare Alabama first down. Best passing play by far we've seen from the Cherokee County Warriors. Substitution coming in defensively for Anniston. It looks as if Rudolph, and indeed Jamarco Rudolph, comes in at a defensive line spot. And we'll have a flag on the play at the far side. Flag comes in right before the snap. Kenneth Breeding indicates an offside on Anniston. At least probably the biggest disappointment tonight for Anniston has been the quantity of penalties that they've had, especially in the first half, but they've played a lot cleaner so far in the second half, and they've been able to come up with a big defensive turnover and that block punt that really set the tone for this ball game for Anniston in the second quarter. So first and 5 as up the middle goes Woods as he'll tumble forward across the 40 to about the 37-yard line or so.
Cherokee County got away with one right there. Right tackle in the back were leaning forward before the ball was snapped.
Still time, but Cherokee County has to get the ball in the end zone if they want to have a chance very late to try and tie or win this ball game. 7:20 and counting to go. Keyshawn Woods at least goes back up the middle and maybe gets minimal yardage of about a yard or two. They'll stop the football as far as that forward progress at the 36-yard line, as we've got a little bit of woofing going on for both teams after the play. Officials able to break it up, however. Less than 7 minutes to go in this important region battle between Anniston and Cherokee County. FNN Bank helps bring us our game of the week tonight. Service solutions in strength, something that certainly, as far as the strength, has been able to help Anniston tonight. Woods wrapped up, and he stood up and taken down Kyrie Lewis on the initial penetration, and then finished off by Jamarco Rudolph on the tackle.
Big fourth down. Third down. Big third down right here.
Yeah, big third down. Except time, even more of a precious commodity for Cherokee County.
Looks like they're going back to the regular quarterback offense right here.
They're down 2 scores, so Adam Griffith going to need to make a play with his arm here on third down. Keyshawn Woods in the backfield. Here's Griffith to throw. Tosses, and that's in and out of the hands of Mosley, the tight end, incomplete.
Yep.
Fourth down coming up. 4th and 8 as Kyrie Lewis in on the coverage for Anniston.
Could be the play of the game right here.
Yeah, this may be the final gasp for Cherokee County if they cannot get this first down. What offensively has been a lackluster performance so far for Cherokee County. 4th down and a little early movement for the Anniston defense.
Penalty.
I imagine Rico Jackson not exactly thrilled with that that defensive offside.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Yeah, Rico Jackson beside himself on the near sideline as far as one of his defensive linemen getting an early head start.
And they went back to that way got them back in their wildcat, what they want to be in right here.
But they're less than 6 minutes to go. Keyshawn Thomas and Jay-Sean Stroop in the backfield. 4th and 2 as Thomas up the middle.
Second effort, got it.
Or check that.
He's still going.
Woods with the first down and more. And still moves the pile forward to about the 15-yard line, and that's the first red zone trip tonight for Cherokee County. So the Warriors with an opportunity inside the 20-yard line, presented by Perry Funeral Home, located on 1611 East Bypass in Center. To the far side, Stroop turns the corner and sees the end zone in sight, dives for it, but steps out of bounds. However, he did secure his first down. Close to 5 minutes to go in the ball game as Ja'Shawn Stroop able to accelerate off the right side as he's able to get from the 16 inside the 5 and a Cherokee County first down gain of 13 yards. They add an extra yard, so a 14-yard gain for Stroop. First and goal as the jumbo package comes in for the Warriors. Right up the middle goes Stroop, and let's see, do they give him the score?
Called him down over here.
So marked down, and I thought initially he might have been just a hair shy of the goal line, and that's exactly what the near side official confirms.
Cherokee County's backs need to be careful right there. They're leaning forward. They don't want to get a 5-yard penalty here.
So there you see the football just shy of the goal line. Second and goal. Stroop and Perry in the backfield. Stroop on the direct snap goes toward the goal line.
Looks like they called him down again, James.
And he's shy of the goal line once more. No gain on the play as precious seconds tick away. Under 4.5 minutes to go. For Cherokee County, they still have 3 timeouts, but time starting to become a big factor. And now the officials will stop the clock here.
Looks like you got an injured player there. 75 looks like he's down.
And it looks as if one of the Anniston Bulldogs linemen down. So number 75, Aid Sana into the ball game. And now a third down and goal coming up.
You can see Woods tried to come in the game. Looks like he's cramping.
Ja'Shawn Stroop has gotten the last 3 carries now, so we'll have a whistle and looks like a timeout on the field. We'll take the timeout. 4:12 to go in the ball game. It's Anniston 20 and Cherokee County 6.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Third down and goal inside the 1 for the Cherokee County Warriors as they're trying to keep themselves in this ball game, as a touchdown would make it a 1-score affair. David's record service trying to get Cherokee County across the goal line here. 24-hour towing for David's record service as here comes the jumbo package.
Got it there.
And he was able to get it in, but I think the whistle stopped play. And there's
encroachment on defense be declined.
So there's the offside rather.
Go third down.
So that was a dead ball penalty prior to the snap. Big thanks to David's Wrecker Service, 24-hour towing. And also Ray Bonds Automotive, as there's Stroop up the middle, and he's able to get in for the touchdown. Check that. Keyshawn Woods for the touchdown, his second of the night. So Woods able to take the direct snap as he was able to just follow the center and left guard, Jackson Doeg the guard, and James Hunter the center for the touchdown. And there you see Cherokee County, what they're known for, physical play up front as Woods, his second touchdown of the night. And that gets Cherokee County to within 8.
Yeah, if you go back and watch that play, one of Cherokee's linemen drove one of Anniston's linemen all the way into the goal post.
That tells you how physical that Cherokee County has always
big
been.
Extra point here.
Hugh Miller on for the PAT. Snap, hold are there, and kick on the way. It is up, and it is good. We'll take the timeout. 4:20 to go in the ball game. It's Anniston 20 and Cherokee County 13. You're watching the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Yep.
Indeed. Anniston on top 20-13 as the MVP Wings kickoff coming up for Cherokee County. James Hardy, Matt Glover, Shasta Jones, and our FNN crew with you. A big MVP Wings kickoff upcoming for Hugh Miller. And let's see what Jacob Kelly has in mind with a couple of timeouts at his disposal. Does he decide kick it deep or maybe go for an onside kick?
They're lined up like they're kicking it deep.
Only one returner back for Anniston as Miller punches it away. Over to the far side as that'll roll toward Jabari Williams as he moves it up the field and goes out of bounds, actually pushed out of bounds about the 25-yard line or so. So still plenty of time, Matt, for Cherokee County. If they can get a 3-and-out here, a couple timeouts at their disposal to stop the clock, they can make things interesting down the stretch. But right now for Cherokee County, Jacob Kelly, I imagine, told his defense, hey, you need to come up with a stop here.
Yep, big stop. No busted plays. Gang tackle and don't let two beat you.
Also, they can't have any sort of just senseless penalties after the play, at least during this sequence of events. First down and 10. Give goes to Williams as he gets wrapped up, and he'll move forward, actually fall forward for about a couple of yards. So that's a good start for the Cherokee County defense as Case Tittles had a good performance. A timeout on the field.
A little surprised he took the timeout that early. I'd probably held it at least a third down.
Yeah, that's hurt. Still 4 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the ball game. A lot can happen in that amount of time. And Jacob Kelly decides, hey, let's go ahead and stop the clock here and give our offense as much time as possible if our defense can get off the field with a 3-and-out.
Well, also it helps Anniston out a little bit because they got a lot of guys having to play both ways, so it gives them a little breather right here on offense.
There you see Jacob Kelly try and fire up his defense because I imagine he senses, Matt, that this is the biggest defensive possession they've had all season long.
No doubt.
A lot on the line as far as playoff positioning at the top half of 4A Region 6. The winner has definitely the inside track to get that top seed. Right now, if Anniston can hold on with what they have remaining in their region play, and then they should be able to get across the finish line with that 1 seed. Cunningham tries to bounce it to the outside and gets wrapped up in the backfield and taken down for a pretty big loss all the way back at the 21-yard line. Here you see Jaquan Diamond. Also, I think Ethan Glass was able to come up with the penetration and the tackle for loss.
Coach Kelly's got to think right now we got him right where we want him. The big third down right here, punt the ball away, and they can hold the way their offense runs. They can hold it to the end of the game.
Well, I imagine a good way to celebrate for one of these two teams that gets the win tonight. Maybe want some of those Oleo donuts from our friends at the Grub Mart, along with a lot of bags of 99-cent bags of ice for how much hitting we've seen go on tonight down on the field.
Yep. Best deal in town, 99 cents bag of ice.
There you go. And I imagine probably a bunch of pre-orders for both of these teams as far as those ice packs for all of their players that have participated so far tonight. 3rd down. Ball at the 22-yard line. Pope under pressure. Stays on his feet. A couple of defenders around him as Pope tries to get loose and past Diamond and does so and gets his first down.
That is so, for a defense, that is so demoralizing. You think you have him for a stop and the ball turns over. Next thing you know, it turns into a first down.
Yeah, Jaquan Diamond there on the Superior Pest Control second look just didn't have enough gas in the tank to try and catch up to Damon Pope.
And have no timeouts.
So, yeah, that's where taking those 2 timeouts, I imagine, Matt, backfires for Coach Jacob Kelly. A critical I-Care Alabama first down for Anniston. That's right now with Damon Pope going out of bounds after the first down. Stops the clock, but a little over 3.5 to go. Loaded backfield for the Bulldogs. Jabari Williams up the middle, and not going to get, well, second effort gets him a couple more yards than he would have gotten. Good determination that time, and great effort by Jabari Williams. As they'll spot the football about the 39-yard line for a 3-yard gain. And now you're looking at, for Anniston, if they can get certainly a couple, maybe even 1 first down, depending on how many tries it takes, they have a pretty decent possibility of running out this clock.
Yeah, I think if you got one first down, I think the game's over.
Once again, no timeouts at the disposal of Cherokee County. Damon Pope, a big first down run on 3rd and 12. Here's Pope off the left side, and he gets the I-Care Alabama first down and a lot more as he's down the far sideline and raced out of bounds at the boundary at around the Cherokee County 24-yard line. And we'll take a look at the Superior Pest Control second look that might have just about put this game on ice, Matt.
Just a quarterback counter right there, fake to the back. Quarterback kept it. Good run, good blocking up front.
A 7-point lead for Anniston. A big thanks to David's Wrecker Service with that 24-hour towing. As Damon Pope, another big play in this drive for the Bulldogs, as he's come up with big-time play after big-time play here in the second half. There you see the football at the 24-yard line to Cherokee County. Here's the give. Jabari Williams slashes inside the 20-yard line. As we'll take a look as far as another red zone trip, courtesy of Perry Funeral Home. And also we'll have another Player at the Week 2 award, thanks to our friends at Talladega Short Track, coming up on Tuesday as part of our FNN Coaches Show from Top of the River. Just a short little extra point kick away from Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium.
As a coach here, you really don't. You want to get the first down, but you want to tell your guy, do not score. Get down and let's take it to the end of the game.
Damon Pope gives off. Williams up the middle, and he got his first down, and that should certainly do it.
Yep, best formation in football, victory.
Less than 2 minutes to go. A first down, no timeouts for Cherokee County. So I think we have just about gotten to the point where Rico Jackson's Anniston Bulldogs can just take a couple of knees and get to the finish line here with a key region win. What would be a statement win for the Anniston football program over one of the top football programs, especially in the northern half of Alabama in Class 4A the last several seasons. And there you see the victory formation for the Anniston Bulldogs. As the snap and first of a couple of knees, I imagine, for Damon Pope. A key factor tonight for the Anniston Bulldogs, including 3 big third down conversion runs and a fourth down conversion run as well here in the second half.
Yeah, the play of the game probably was the fumble. The fumble, and it changed the momentum of the game right there.
Also, Kyrie Lewis's blocked punt and scoop and score in the second quarter that got Anniston on the board and set the tempo for tonight's ball game. The Anniston faithful certainly show their appreciation for what Anniston's done tonight. One more snap to go as the snap and the kneel down for Damon Pope, as that will do it as the Anniston Bulldogs come up with a big-time region win at home over the Cherokee County Warriors. They'll improve now to 6-0 on the season, 4-0 in region play, while Cherokee County drops to 5-2 and also 3-1 in region play. The final seconds tick down as your final score, Anniston 20 and Cherokee County 13. Matt, an excellent ball game and big plays by Damon Pope and really a great team effort from Rico Jackson's squad tonight.
Yeah, it was. But the only thing Rico going from here forward, they just need to cut down on the penalties. You don't want you don't want to be negative after a win, but that has to kind of, in big games, that can come back and bite you. But very impressed with this Anniston football team. Athletic. Run the ball well. They came out and did what Cherokee County likes to do is be physical and run the ball.
We're awaiting Coach Rico Jackson, as I believe he has come to our FNN microphone, as Shasta Jones now with the victorious Anniston head football coach.
Coach Jackson, how does this win feel? Hard-fought win? How does it feel for you?
It feels good, man. Another step in the right direction. Really proud of the boys. Just a big program win.
What does this mean for you now in the region?
We got to keep winning. Next week, we'll enjoy this one and get ready for next week.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on this win, and thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And we're going to send it back to you for 1 second while we grab a couple more players here.
Thank you very much, Shasta. And there you hear from Rico Jackson, certainly kind of that one game at a time approach that we've heard all throughout this season. They'll play at Etowah next week, but you can't discount, Matt, just how big of a win, not only for this season for region play, but how big for the program it is that they got across the finish line successfully.
Oh, yeah, to win a game against Cherokee County, who's been the number one team in the North for the last 3 years. Big win for Coach and his program. And I know he says one game at a time, but I know deep down he's got a deep smile on him.
Well, I imagine, behind the scenes, if you ask Rico as far as just how big this win is without our microphones, and he'd really tell you, hey, this is a big time win for the Anniston Bulldogs as they improve to 6-0 on the season. We're Shasta Jones looking to catch up as far as we think Damon Pope and some others as far as contributors in a big-time 4A Region 6 win over the Cherokee County Warriors. First time that Anniston has been able to defeat a Cherokee County since 2019. Damon Pope, a key contributor tonight with big plays with his feet at quarterback. And then also Kyrie Lewis, the tone-setting block punt and scoop and score. I was able to get Anniston on the board first 8-0. Damon Pope as well as Jabari Williams with touchdowns tonight on the ground. And then the only player to score tonight for Cherokee County was their star running back in Keyshawn Woods with a couple of touchdowns, one in the first and then one in the second half. Looks as if we've got Jabari Williams as Shasta Jones getting herself in position. And now we will send it down to the field for Shasta Jones with running back Jabari Williams.
Jabari, you had an incredible game tonight, phenomenal runs. Tell me how this felt for you and what was going through your mind.
I mean, it just felt great, just helping my team, doing the best I can. It just all starts at practice, man. It just all starts at practice. There he goes. I'm on camera, boy. But it just felt great, though, Now we're 6-0. It just feels great to be a contributing factor to the team. And all glory to my linemen. I couldn't do it without them.
And when you saw it open up for you to make that touchdown, what was that like?
I was running through a person's face. That's all that was going through my mind. Marshawn Lynch, I watched him growing up, so I just want to run through their face. And once I got in there, I knew it was only up for there.
Well, congratulations on that win.
Thank you. Hey, best luck to y'all. Hey, them some hard-working boys. I know we're going to see them fourth round, but I'm just happy. I don't got nothing else to say.
All right, we're going to send it back to you, James.
Thank you very much, Shasta and Jabari. And there you heard Jabari also wisely point out, as far as, maybe not the only time that these two teams meet up in the regular season. So let's go ahead and take the break, and we'll wrap it up after this timeout. Your final score again, Anniston 20 and Cherokee County 13.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Time to put a bow on tonight's big region contest in 4A Region 6 as Anniston able to cross the finish line and remain undefeated as they improve to 6-0 on the season with a 20-13 hard-fought win over Cherokee County. James Hardy, along with Shasta Jones, Jackson New, Jim Jacobs, and Matt Glover. And before we wrap things up, big thanks, Matt, for joining us again tonight, and give us your final thoughts as far as a hard-fought win for Anniston tonight.
You know, you heard the kid from Anniston talk about, hey, we're probably going to see them again, and I could see this being another matchup late in the season. So.
And there you see all the fine folks that helped make tonight's FNN High School Football Game of the Week possible. Don't forget Tuesday, our FNN Coaches Show, as we'll recap tonight's win for Anniston. And then next week we'll be up at Titan Stadium in the heart of Gadsden, as also there's a look at our next game on October 10th, next Friday, 6:30 kickoff time and 7 o'clock win, or at least our airtime, and 7 o'clock, of course, for that kickoff time for Gadsden City and Fort Payne. So for all of those fine folks that you just saw on your screen, James Hardy wishing you a great weekend coming up and a happy Friday as you have been watching the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.